Peggy 18.
Hello and welcome. It is day 2 of the Call of Duty World League Pro Division here in North America. Maven joined by Mr. X. We had one hell of a day one, Matt. It was fun.
We did. I mean, the first match we had, FaZe versus Rise, I thought that was probably the highlight of yesterday.
Absolutely.
Just an unbelievable match. Goes to a game 5. Hunted Attach makes some big plays in that one. We saw Optic win their series against CLG pretty easy, and then Envy, they looked. JCap especially looked really good yesterday.
They look very, very strong. Kind of the MV we expected. We thought going into yesterday, match 1 was going to be the match of the night. It had that just poised for it. 2 top 4 teams going up against it. Went the distance. Game 5, round 11, incredible series. But day 2, we've got some awesome matches for you as well. We're going to be kicking things off with CLG versus H2K for match 1 of the night. This one set up to be, I think, kind of one that has potential to go the distance as well.
Right. CLG had a pretty rough go yesterday against Optic Gaming. Obviously, you know, Optic Gaming, one of the best teams in all Call of Duty. CLG
Certainly
loses that match. H2K wins there, so definitely going to be a team on the rise to look out for. But CLG, you see Complex, Methods, Felony, and BL Fire. Going to need BL Fire to come up big today. I thought Methods had some good games yesterday, some big moments. BL Fire, he steps up in the slaying department. This should be one CLG can take.
Well, in all the games yesterday, you kind of saw that one AR player that was really putting up big numbers. Sometimes 2, if you were talking about maybe Optic, but there was one guy that was really working towards streets, putting up big numbers, holding that anchor position. BL Fire is going to have to play a big role if they're going to take out H2K, because this H2K squad looked incredibly impressive at the qualifier, and they are definitely able to mix things up in the Ban Protect. They're an incredible S&D team all around. I just love what this team brings to the game.
They're just an explosive team overall. Like when these guys catch fire, especially no Legal, Lacefield, and Fears, they're very, very difficult to deal with. FizzUp, very versatile. You know, FizzUp loves to be versatile, can use multiple weapons, you know, very good in search and destroy. I think Legal, though, he's going to be a key. Him and Lacefield pushing those hard points, being aggressive with the submachine gun play. Yeah,
Legal, I just want to see what he brings today. We've had him have some phenomenal plays, whether it's with the Annihilator, going off with the Specialist, or picking up big kills, dropping those 40 bombs in hardpoint. Legal really capable of doing it all, and he's going to be a big part of this matchup if they're going to be able to take this first game.
Major key for me as well. Going to be Fears and BL Fire. Who wins those battles? I think Fears has one of the better AR shots in the game. Excited to see him play again today.
Absolutely. Let's roll right into Ban and Protect. You're going to see immediately Afterburner coming out. What does that tell me? You want to slow the game down a little bit. You don't want those G slides to be as big of a factor. And when you're talking about a map like Evac Hardpoint, speed is so key in this game.
And this is what you expect from a team like H2K. They're going to mix things up. It's not going to be a lot of the same Ban and Protects we see game after game. They're going to change things up. Afterburner out, definitely going to throw a little bit of a wrench into what CLG likes to do.
And when we take a look, you know, we're going to get a quick reset here. Just the guys need to get back into the lobby and go through the Ban Protect. But you saw Shiva coming too. That's going to be taking a look. You got to think that's targeted directly at FizzUp. You know, he likes to use that Shiva. We've seen him use it quite a bit online. You saw him use it on LAN as well. That 2-shot kill can be so dominant. Not surprised to see that taken off the board. You don't want to see it in his hands.
No, I think this is a series where, like we said yesterday, you saw a lot of Vesper, flashbangs, concussions.
Yeah.
I think this is one where you're going to see everything. You're going to see everything displayed. I mean, we just saw in that first one right there, FizzUp getting rid of that Afterburner. That one's going to be definitely an odd pick. Maybe, you know, CLG throws something different when they go back into Ban and Protect. But I'm interested to see how this H2K takes advantage of that Ban and Protect against other teams.
Well, while we have a second here, you know, yesterday was obviously the first night of the CWL. I know we had a lot of new viewers because I know there was some promotion from Activision within Black Ops 3 that was directing a lot of new viewers over. Also, just, you know, with the new home on Twitch on Call of Duty, it's bringing a lot of new viewers as well. So I kind of want to go through one bit in case maybe it's been a couple years since you've watched Call of Duty. I'd like to kind of explain a bit of what that
changed.
Yeah, what that Ban Protect process is, because obviously you see us kicking into it basically at the very start of the broadcast. Matt, for the new viewer at home, I know we have a lot of guys you've been watching for years and years. Before that new viewer, take them through what this Ban Protect system is and why it's such a key.
So every player on each team is going to have one vote. They can either ban or protect an item, anything from, you know, lethals, tacticals, attachments, guns, perks, specialists.
Everything.
Anything you can pick from, they can either choose to ban or protect it. After that, it's going to go into a draft of specialists. So each player on each team going to have, you know, 20 seconds. They go in a row. able to pick their specialists of choice, whether they want to go, Seraph Annihilator.
Yeah.
We're going to see some Psychosis from Reaper coming in. And then after that, you're going to have 90 seconds to edit your created class. So everything that is now banned or protected, going to have an option to go back in, change some of the stuff on your classes, and then edit your score streaks, and we get right into the game.
Yeah, so it's great. I can think back when I first started watching Call of Duty, it was really, as far as competitive, it was back in Black Ops 1, and I was so confused. I had just played a lot of pubs, and I see 4 FAMASas on one team, 4 FAMASas on the other team. I'm like, what am I seeing right now? Everyone's using the same gun. I didn't know really what to follow. There wasn't much separating kind of the players and everything. And throughout the history of Call of Duty, it's been pretty similar. There's really only been a couple of guns.
Yeah.
There's pretty much one key sub, one key assault rifle as well that gets used. But now with this ban protect system, we're looking for the diversity that it's definitely going to bring to the game.
Well, I think throughout stage 1, you're going to see different things come and go. Like it's going to be like waves where maybe the M8's kind of like the flavor of the month or the week with the assault rifles, which the M8 is great. If you're at home, just throw that thing on. It's insane. You'll see teams, ban that gun out against certain teams, throw a player off, maybe try and get them to use an XR2. And then maybe you'll start to see teams expecting that M8 ban. They're just going to run XR2 straight off the gate.
Yeah.
So that you won't have to ban that anymore or protect it. And I think you'll start to see, the meta just change week by week, month by month.
I think it'll be nice because when you talk about other esports too, when you take a look at something maybe like a League of Legends or a Dota, very different games, but when they have patches that come from the developer, when there's changes to certain characters in the game, just like we're going to have, in Treyarch patches, when there's changes to certain guns, whether it's rate of fire on a certain gun, amount of ammo in the clip, different things are going to change, and I can't wait to see over the course of the year as players have to adapt to that. We're going to see ban and protect change as a result. It's just I like seeing how much more usage we see on whether there's different perks, different tacticals. Everything's being really brought into it now.
Even when you can just talk about these submachine guns.
Sure.
That's one that's really targeted a lot now. In the ban and protect, you'll see the Vesper go. A lot of players like using the VMP.
The Vesper, you wouldn't say. It was, I think that was banned in every single
Pretty
match
much
yesterday.
every game yesterday.
If you're a pub player, maybe new to competitive, and you've been playing a lot of pubs, you've been struggling, try out the Vesper for a while. Put extended ammo on that one. Have fun.
Yeah, quick draw grip, extended mag, and you'll have yourself a pretty good time. But you see that banned out a lot. And then you see a lot of players, they go over to the VMP. They like using that. Over time, does that one get banned as well?
Yeah.
Throw off those SMG players, maybe make them use a Kuda or a Pharaoh, another one of the submachine guns. So I think we'll start to see that go towards the ARs because it seems like we're seeing pretty heavy AR play from each team. 2, 3 ARs on most maps. I think that'll be the next class of guns that gets heavily targeted and ban and protect.
Certainly could be. Now, I just hear I think it's just an issue with the player getting in the lobby right now. It's just going to be a couple minutes while we wait for them all to get joined up so we can start this first match. So I want to take a look at some replays from yesterday. Maybe you weren't able to watch. I know we got a lot of tweets saying, hey, I'm at work. I haven't been able to watch. Hope you guys are having a good time.
Quit your jobs.
Let's hop into it. Right into some replays here. And this is the first match. This was FaZe versus Rise. This was, without question, the best match of the night. So if you didn't get to see some highlights, we're going to take you through some of the replays
Without
here.
a doubt. I think the thing that stuck out for me in this series is FaZe wins that first map. I think we both expected that the guys on Rise were going to be able to take that first hard point. FaZe comes in, steals it.
Absolutely.
It's a huge map to take. Ultimately ends up leading to them forcing that game 5.
Yeah, well, I know we both were taking Rise, and this is kind of the difference maker there too. When Zuma got those full streaks, and that's when he really started to go off. And the thing from that, he wasn't going on 8, 9, 10 streaks, no crazy streaks really. It was just consistently going on those 3 to 5 streaks, always working towards the ability to get some of those score streaks. And he just had an excellent game number 1. And then we talk about the S&D. This was also one that ends up going the distance. The S&Ds in this game were wild.
Yeah, and Octane and Looney really showed up big for Rise in this one. They were the two guys that really put it together. And you see Attach here with the sniper rifle. That was a sick shot. We see that one again.
I hit that at home all the time.
You cannot shoot like that.
I don't.
But I think this is the round. You see it was Attach in the back, goes to a round 11. He's got a dart. He actually calls it in the back. Rise makes a great play call, though. Instead of going towards B, obviously knew Attach had that dart. They go towards A. They win that second map.
And tied 1-1 at this point. When we go into the Infection uplink, this is where we saw it was sort of a game of clutches and a game of throws. And we were highlighted on Clayster a bit because he was always in a position trying to make big plays. I can't wait to see that one that came down to that
three-piece with
camo defensive play was absolutely unbelievable. Oh, we're going to see it at some point.
I think this is it right here. So you're going to see Clay take out one. He gets heat waved,
somehow
able to kill that player, pops his camo, kills another one. But amazing play right there. We didn't see he actually had a little bit of an error. He was going towards the back of his base, trying to get that drone off the map.
Yeah.
He gets cut down by Slacked, and then he's taken out.
Back into it here.
So you see the Shiva and Afterburner go right away. We see an Argus and a Smoke go, so these are much different than we saw yesterday. Like, look how long the Vesper lasted. I mean, usually we see the Vesper, that's gone pretty early. That and the VMP go out late.
Yeah, that's certainly exciting to see. We're going to get some changes here to this one. Just seeing the Argus really come out is a big one when we're taking a look also at Afterburner. I know we saw that right before we went to the replays. We had the issue with the lobby, but that one, again, is going to be a big key. Let's talk a little bit, just real quick. I want to make sure to highlight some stuff for the new viewers at home because you may not be aware of some of this stuff, but the reason Afterburner is such a big one is there's a way to kind of basically increase your speed in this game with the movement. You kind of do like this bounce slide. With Afterburner, you're able to chain it together. It almost works, like an overclocking. You can really overdrive. You can really cruise across the map. Taking that away slows the game down a bit.
It's definitely difficult to do.
Oh, yeah. To chain it together, certainly.
I'm not going to say I'm a professional player by any stretch of the imagination, but there are some where I hit it 3-4 times in a row, and then some I just can't connect with it. We can take a little bit of a look at the specialist draft. So H2K, they're going to go legal with Heatwave. I like that one. Pretty safe pick. He's going to be around the hard points. Him and Lacefield, they're going to go Heatwave and Kinetic Armor. You have Fears and FaZe both using weapons, one Annihilator, one Scythe. I like that setup. The 2-weapon, 2 abilities. We talked about that yesterday. 4 respawn game modes. I think that's going to where we see the meta go towards.
And certainly we would love to hear your guys' opinion at home. So this first one, H2K on one side, CLG on the other. Please tweet at us, at Maven and Matt Mr. X, and also at COD World League. Let us know who you think is going to take this first series, and it's going to be with the hashtag CWL PS4. Let us know who you think is going to win. We'd love to hear you guys' thoughts.
Who do you got? I'll ask
I'm
you
going
first.
H2K. I absolutely am. I have faith in their S&D game.
I was going to go them as well. You can't. I'm not asking
you anymore. We can both go H2K, pal.
Okay,
that's all right. I have, yesterday I struggled a little bit with the team names. I have a keyboard up here now.
I mean, just things getting better and better for you every day. Easier and easier for you, Clint. But
I could use all the help I can
editing their score streaks. I mean, yeah, that you definitely can. But I think going into this series, I definitely have H2K. I think after their win yesterday against DT, a DT team that's very good online. Excited to see how this H2K team plays.
Yeah, they, for me, I mean, it's going to come down to the S&Ds because I think both of these teams' best game type is probably going to be S&D. Are they going to be able to edge out H2K? You have FaZe who plays obviously in a ton of S&D tournaments. We know how much he's on playing in these, whether it's 1-and-dones or 3v3s. He's playing in basically everything imaginable. But that's why I think it's really going to be kind of the respawns that make the difference, just because I don't know who to expect. I don't know really who to favor in these as much. And evac, this is the most sub-heavy hardpoint. This is one where you're really going to see much faster gameplay than something like a Fringe or a Stronghold. Really curious to see which sub's able to go off of these rosters.
Still look out to see how those AR players play. You're going to have Fears and BL-Fire running mostly the ARs for these teams. And excited to jump into this one, baby. This is a hard point we obviously did not see yesterday. Excited to see the players play this one.
Well, they're going to be pushing right into this middle hard point, see what they can get going early. We've got Lacefield here with the Kuda. He's going to be hopping in, trying to find some action here on his right. Is one able to pick that up? They've now got early control, but it's going to be a contest from the rear pretty quickly here, Matt.
Yeah, but you're going to see all the players for CLG go down in the kill feed, and we saw the Vesper and the VMP go. The Kuda, the next choice in the SMG category. I think if you're a team that has 2 very talented SMG players like the guys on H2K, I mean, they even have 3 FaZe running it right now. You try and get rid of some of those popular SMGs, make it more about the Kuda, the Pharaoh, the Razorback, guns like that. You can take even more of an advantage.
Well, let's see if Felony can potentially get a break here for CLG. Nice shots with the Kuda there, and that's why I like the Kuda a little more than some of, let's say the VMP or the Vesper when you talk about actual range. You can get some kills from that good, kind of medium to long range with the Kuda, as you just saw.
I feel, at least when I play, obviously, me and you play a ton of Call of Duty, that I can do more things with the Kuda than I can with the VMP. From an instance like, gun battles up close, longer range gunfights. I think the VMP just has that advantage in the rate of fire. It seems like it shoots faster.
Absolutely.
I think, though, the Kuda definitely a very good all-purpose SMG.
It certainly is. Reminds you kind of the MSMC back from Black Ops 2. Just that sub that can kind of do everything. You'll see Pronus methods. He's starting out pretty hot here. He's going to be 7-4. But we've got to check out Lacefield right now. 7-1. We'll go back to him through the spawn as he's going to pop just to see what he's doing successful early. Is he's already going to have that lightning strike available. But you see Control is going to be here for CLG early. We'll see if they're going to be able to make a break.
Yeah, and he's going to have that kinetic armor. Wondering when he's going to use that, Maven. He's going to try and pop that push into the hill when he has a teammate behind him, but looks like everyone's starting the rotation for H2K. They're going to give up the last 15 or so seconds on that hill, and CLG taking a pretty big lead.
see if I can get there. We go. Team identity on for you guys so you can take a look at the top right and see the separate teams there. But we've got an early lead here for CLG, up a little over 30 points right now. You see FaZe set up at top AC. He's going to be flanked right now, not able to hold for long.
That's huge because H2K, they rotate early. You saw Lacefield, he was the only one fighting that last hard point for the last 15 or so seconds. CLG comes in, breaks it right away. Now they're able to hold on to this. You see Felony doing a nice job cutting players off, picks up FaZe and Lacefield. Legal trying to work his way through the middle, but when you have a player who can pick up 2 kills like that, stop players pushing the overextension, trying to fight for those spawns, it's going to lead to huge time for CLG.
Yeah, I said this is probably the hard point I think that's easiest to really hold, this corner hard point, where you can kind of get set up, get some good control, really push your AR players out a bit, so you don't really have the opportunity to fly at it to some degree if you can get set up. And that was Complex, I think, that flew in with the 3-piece there, really able to break this quickly. Been a bit back and forth here over the past couple of seconds, but still a significant lead here for CLG. You'll see he's got the heat wave, he's got the HC car as well. Let's see how he opts to put these to use, as he's going to be setting up a trophy, and here's going to be the car. Going to fly right in, see if he's able to pick up any of these players coming from the backside. I don't think he got eyes on one going low. Tries to get to the backside, not able to pick it up.
Yeah, he saw the guy deep, didn't see the guy in the hill. Doesn't matter, able to win that gunfight. Maven, let's talk a little bit about just hardpoint in general.
Sure.
You know, we talk a lot about different roles, different positions. We'll just explain the anchor position a little bit. It's going to be that one last line of defense assault rifle player who, in hardpoint, you're going to be fighting for those spawns the entire game. And you want those spawns because obviously there's going to be a favorable spawn closer towards the hardpoint if you're able to hold down those positions. And those anchors are huge on this map. They may not put up the most kills, but you provide your team a better lane, better route towards those hills.
Yeah, if you're a new viewer, haven't really watched too much hardpoint, I mean, without question, the most significant part of this game is really just controlling the spawns. Is this hardpoint, you know, it's up for 60 seconds as it begins to rotate around.
Look at how far the guys on CLG are spawning away from the hill right now.
The easiest way to check is just via the minimap.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see the green marker there, locating the hard point. You can see as these players drop and spawn, how far they're going to be spawning.
And that's also why you see a lot of people, you know, 10, 12 seconds left on the hard point. They're not even going towards it. They're not fighting for the hill. And there's some people at home probably like, oh, why are they not fighting for that time? It's pretty worth to fight for those last 10 to 15 seconds. But you know, you're better off going towards that next hill, setting up. You win one wave of gunfights, you make that time right back up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you get a good setup for the next hard point, that could lead to, you know, 30-plus points really early on. As you see a heat wave coming there, that can disrupt everything so much. He had no idea what was going on, but that's going to be Lacefield. He picked up 3 before dropping. I'm going to go back to him off spawns. He's 19 and 14 right now. We'll see as they're trying to lock it down. Just under 30 seconds left here as H2K is trying to climb back in this one, and we wondered how the games would go in the respawn. So far, CLG looking really strong, but FaZe trying to get something going here with the scythe. And this is not...
He's only gotten 2 kills with it, but just the threat of him being there, as soon as the players start dropping to that scythe, everyone just a little bit more cautious to push into that hard point. You see the players of CLG opting to rotate, going to give up a ton of time on this one to H2K, starting to mount the comeback.
Well, and here's the Annihilator out of Fears. We've seen what he can do with this gun. He's trying to watch his backside, able to connect. Second one pushing him to his left. Teammate able to clean that up as well. Now you can see how far they're spawning out right now.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday a lot during the broadcast. You know, the use of specialist weapons during respawns when used effectively. I think you're going to start seeing it more. You saw this was a game that looked like CLG was going to win fairly easily, and the Scythe and Annihilator definitely turned things around in H2K's favor as they start to mount the comeback.
As long as you hit your shots with it, it is so effective. One shot, one kill. Fear's trying to lock him down, almost shooting a player in the back there, but able to stop. They're trying to push this front side of Kitchen, trying to push in, but let's go to Legal, who's got full streaks now, and that could end up being the difference maker, because he's 18 and 18, not going off by any means, but having those full streaks available, and they've really climbed back in this one. This is anyone's game at this point, Matt.
And I love the idea by H2K to rotate here early. You see FaZe going to fight that gunfight with Felony in the back. You're going to see Legal call in that Hellstorm missile. Should be able to pick up one. Now, Lacefield going to finish that player off.
He actually went for an HC car there.
He actually went for an HC car.
Saved his teammate, I think.
Saved his teammate, but I think it was Lacefield actually able to pick up that one kill. But you see the pinch coming in on the minimap from H2K. They're able to win the gunfights in the hill, take it back, and I love that decision to rotate early. It's exactly what we talked about. You play for those hard points where you can take a ton of time on. When you have an AR player like Fears, who can lock down this left-hand lane on this hill, can definitely get a ton of time.
Yeah, this, again, I think is one of the easier hard points to really maintain control. It's contested right now. Let's see if they can get the break. That's going to be 2 down. Are they able to fly in? Legal still has those streaks, but they lost it so quickly. What a fantastic break there coming out for the boys of CLG.
Well, they knew one player was still in the back, and BO Fire actually pushes straight through the hill, able to kill Legal in the back, control those spawns, and now you see how far away H2K is spawning out. They're going to end up playing for this next hill, Maven. And nope, with the new addition to Hardpoint, where the clock pauses when the one team controls the hill, it's only going to clock down when nobody's in the hill or it's contested. Gives a lot of time for H2K to make the comeback. They don't have to panic just yet.
Well, they pick up a couple. I like Legal. He's using that lightning strike on the rotation there. Tries to catch the players. They're pushing towards the next hard point. He's able to get one and slow down several. They all had to wrap around that far left side. They tried to get indoors, not get taken out by the lightning strike. And now let's see if Legal can put this HC to use. He's really just scouting middle. You can see which direction they're coming from. But in comes the car. It's able to pick up one. There were two left up. Another flying in. FaZe gets the headshot. And so far, trying to just make control. That's going to be Methods getting shut down as well.
And I'm wondering when he's going to opt to use that Purifier. You know, CLG only up 15-14. You know, the lead starting to diminish at this point. Does he save it? Does he use it on this hill? Looks like they have a clean break, but he gets heat waved. And it looks like he's going to opt to save it. I think maybe that second hard point, we see that one pop back up again. That's when he decides to use that Purifier.
Yeah, that I guess are the original, the starting hard point in the middle. I guess you could.
You
but
can
that's
actually,
a little.
I don't know on that first one. You can play from so far away with an AR.
You can. There's so many different angles to hit from. But I will try to keep an eye on Methods and see when he opts to use that. Let's watch him through this middle hard point. See when he decides he's going to go for it. He's going to get one assist. Tries to tag up another. That's Fears winning that gunfight. Let's hop onto Fears as he's 26 and 19 right now. This is almost a tie game. H2K has climbed back. They were getting dominated early, but they brought this one back. And you can see there, you know, if you are a new viewer at home, haven't really watched before, the reason you can see that red outline, that is for you. That's for you to get an idea of where the opposing team is coming from. Makes it much, much easier to follow. I saw some questions on Reddit about
like,
that.
how do I get that
Yeah, is that
home?
a perk?
Like, no,
how do
you can't use that in an actual game, man. That is something for the broadcaster mode. Makes it a lot easier for you guys to watch, but Legal going to pick up one, throw some nades. Those going to get taken out by trophy systems. They have two dead. Just nobody there to help him push this hill. And as I say that, FaZe somehow picks up two. He gets one jumping from that bottom. No lip there on that jump up, and then he picks up his second one jumping into the hill. But now the kill feed.
This is big.
Yeah.
The Purifier. Is he going to use it and try to close it out here on this hard point? Because they have 210 right now. They're not that far away from winning this game. I wouldn't be surprised once he gets the call from Felony if he might decide to pop this. But he's still just going to decide to rock in here with the Man of War, just doing damage right now, picking up kill after kill. Gets two. He pops it out, but gets heat waved. So that's big. That gets completely shut down. I don't even think he picked up a single kill with it due to the heat wave flying in. Couple down for either side right now. 11 points separating.
You can't start to panic and just flood that hard point. We saw two players just run in there by themselves, like the play by Methods here, just putting down some shots. Gonna wait for his teammates to get up top. Then they're gonna try and push this together and see the teammates flooding from up top. Methods gonna get taken out by FaZe. BL Fire not gonna be able to get into the hill. Let's see if Fears can do anything big with this Annihilator. This would be some huge kills.
There's one. He's got two coming to the back. Doesn't get it off. He was already tagged up, so not nearly as effective as the first time. You do see there's a scythe ready as well.
By Felony, though.
Felony, he's 31 and 33, and let's keep an eye on this 3-streak because he has a kinetic armor and the HC to card to go with it.
I mean, he picks up 3 kills right there, Maven. It buys them an extra 10-15 seconds. Puts the game so close for CLG, able to close it out. But you see the players of H2K getting on that rotation early. The gunfight's gonna go in favor of CLG.
He's gonna be upset about that.
Coming from behind. Felony should be able to help CLG close this one out. Maven, the first map victory.
And there they take it. CLG, even one more point still. They were able to effectively get in and trade. Did they break? No. Yep. CLG able to hold on, take that one by a score of 250 to 211. 39-point advantage for CLG. I mean, it looked like they were going to run away with it early. You saw H2K able to climb back in that one to a degree.
Comeback by H2K.
And it was on their specialists. You know, when they really started to get going, you saw it was a solid use of a scythe. You saw the Annihilator pick up some big kills as well there, but too little too late. I thought once they eliminated Methods' Purifier on that second hard point.
They tried to combo Kinetic Armor and Purifier coming down that staircase. Felony actually used his Kinetic Armor. Yeah. Was taken out right away. And then they tried to get the Purifier to like fly in right behind. Just didn't work, but they end up winning the map.
Felony follows it up with a 3-piece right after that, basically.
I mean, he buys in that last 15 seconds.
Who needs kinetic armor, I guess? He's just going to fly in.
He's going to take them all out anyway.
But you had a couple. Let's take a look here as we can get eyes on with stats once we're out of the lobby, just to take a look at who really went off for either side. There wasn't anyone that I saw was really having a massive game. Really good team efforts, I think, by everyone for the most part. But solid game from CLG, because that, again, was the question mark for me. We know they're both solid S&D teams. Who's going to be able to pick up these respawns? And at least game one going to the side of CLG. Now, taking a look here, just statistically, pretty well-rounded effort, really, from either side. No one really you know, you don't have someone going plus 10, plus 20, just everyone getting it done.
Methods goes +2 with a minute.
In Complex,
54.
15 defends.
15
now
defends
that stands out
Complex,
for me for sure.
That's huge. Lacefield goes +1 on the side of H2K. You know, 3 of their players playing around the hill. You know, Lacefield, FaZe, and Legal. You expect that. Fierce, nope. Goes positive, 11 defense, 49 seconds in the hill. He actually best BL Fire in the AR battle, but just some big wins on rotation from CLG lead to that first MAC victory.
Great game one. We've got 4 total matches for you today. Now we're going to be getting ready to go into S&D as the players get ready. Obviously, we'll be going through the Ban and Protect again, seeing how these guys want to really mix stuff up. I know we saw, again, H2K at the qualifier was one of the teams that I really thought had a little more fun, had a little more of an action plan when it came to actually using Ban and Protect.
They were more prepared, it seemed like, than everybody else. Like, they knew, obviously, they knew their matchups going into the qualifier, like who they potentially could play, and they had specific bans and protects for those matchups. So excited to see what they bring in here to the match against CLG. They tried to do it in map 1. Obviously, it didn't work in their favor. They lose that. But I think in S&D, that's where they can really take an advantage as well.
All right, we'll keep an eye out here for the invite to the next lobby. I think we can get set up for the next game. Let me make sure I'm in cast mode, as that would be very, very helpful.
Yes, that would be helpful.
But we should be ready for game 2, and it is going... I believe it's going to be Stronghold S&D for game 2. We'll see in just a moment here as we're getting ready to go into this one. But let's talk a little bit about this CLG team. You know, we thought that in the league they were going to have a very good opportunity here to play, because we're talking about placing in top 8, really giving yourself a chance going into stage 1. That's when you're playing for the big bucks. That's when you have $250,000 on the line. I know you were pretty confident early, saying this is a team I think can surprise people. This is a team that can take some of the top teams to the distance. Obviously, playing against Optic yesterday was a tough matchup for them. Why, though, do you think this is a team that really has an opportunity to shock some people?
They're just very talented online. This is a team that online is very, very good. I think the big question for them is, can they get it done in person?
Yeah,
I mean, when the pressure's on, you know, in studio, at a live event, can they get wins against the top teams? Like, they can consistently beat that, like, second tier of teams. It's like they can't seem to break through and beat the, you know, the FaZes, the Rise, the Envies, the Optic Gamings. Those are the teams they seem to be, like, stuck on. They can pretty much put up a good fight or beat the other teams. It's just that top, right, just beating those top 4 teams. They're going to need to obviously beat one of those. They go in and try and win that top prize. It's just whether they can handle the pressure they match up against a team like that.
It's going to be exciting to see how these teams develop too, because like we've seen, there's been players that, let's say in Advanced Warfare, whether they kind of came out of nowhere, maybe they had a rough ghost, played much stronger in Advanced Warfare. You kind of see it's one of the most unique things that Call of Duty has in comparison to other esports. You know, you have this fresh title every year, so you have this kind of new up and coming talent that sort of pops up, or you know, maybe a player in one game is super dominant, has to play a different role in the title the following year because maybe they just don't. I mean, we saw that happen for sure in Advanced Warfare because that was just very different.
Look at some of the players that really just kind of came into their own in AW. I mean, Lacefield, he's on H2K now. Like last year, that's really one of the first times we heard of Lacefield. Playing at the top level. A guy like Octane. Nobody knew who Octane was until he was on Justice.
I saw Octane play, and
putting
I was like,
up the best KD in Season 3, I think, or one of the best KDs. One of the better ARs in Call of Duty at this moment in time. So you saw a lot of players come their own last year. I think this year it's prime to see some of those players get even better. More practice at that top level. Now we can get into the Ban and Protect for map number 2. You see Methods getting rid of that Shiva early.
Yeah, FaZe, he doesn't want that in his hands. And this is definitely a map. Are we going to see a lot of aggressive subplay? Yes, but you definitely are going to see some ARs being the factor, especially, if you're able to get a Planet B, get set up back at wall, just look over that, or whether you're looking out towards rocks when you're set up, in the building, you can really get long lines of sight on this map. But for me, it's really who's going to make the big plays with the sub, especially on the offensive side of things.
Yesterday in Search and Destroy, we saw a lot of Overkill go. I mean,
pretty much every single game.
Yeah, Breach is a map that you'll see Overkill go. Do you view that as a big of a deal on this one?
I don't. Yes and no, just because this map, I feel like more often you'll see people snipe for sure, but it's really just to get that kind of quick pick. I don't really see people sniping.
You're going to see people get aggressive on Mansion.
For the most part, yeah. Everything comes down to Mansion. I was playing some matches think some UMG matches with, I think it was with Jack and Neslo and Sharp and some other guys. And, as we were playing, we were talking about how hard it really is to hold that on defense. If you're not an actual team, the communication for that, because you got to think about it, you've got two stories. You have an entrance from wall run. You have an entrance down low. You have one from the side as you're pushing towards B. You can jump in the front into bedroom. There's a million entrances, and being able to hold that down, because you really have to watch one guy has to kind of watch that bunker side to see if he can push through.
Right.
The other three are just like, we're about to get flooded. Where's it coming from? You got to communicate and make sure people aren't looking at the same stuff.
See two pistols go as well. The LCAR and the MR6 are going to be down to the RK5. I think Overdrive is a good specialist on this map. Especially, with the timings like you just said. With the wall run by Mansion, you can go that second story.
Yeah.
You have Overdrive. You can even cut all the way through mid and go in through that side door.
Yeah.
That'd be something nobody expects.
Offense, it's really just about, if you can get that first kill in, I know people call it a lot of different things, building, whatever you want to refer to it as, the giant building in the middle of the map. If you can get that first kill, it creates kind of a frenzy for the defensive side of things. You're like, oh God, one's in, so one player
that's
rotates,
what you want to
then
do.
this is open.
Well, that's what you want to do
messy.
in Search and Destroy on offense. You get that first blood, forces the defense to start rotating, making some decisions, just opens up more spots on the map. So first blood, huge for the offensive side of things. We see the Banner Protect, the special strap come in here. Kinetic armor active and heat wave so far for the side of H2K. You got Vision Pulse active and kinetic. So Vision Pulse going to be used by Methods. Do you like that one for Search and Destroy? I see it. We see it being used, but
I don't mind Vision Pulse at all. Just anytime you have kind of a 2-3 story buildings with a lot of entrances and areas that you can hide around corners. Like think if you're what's like a little spot where you see a player almost constantly when you're talking about maybe right outside the building. There's that kind of side door that leads out to the first hard point, and there's always someone like in the corner, in the right corner that you can't really see from up top. And just being able to pop that Vision Pulse, whether it's on offense or defense at one point, anytime you have multiple floors, a bunch of different areas, I do like Vision Pulse. Doesn't give away your position.
Even on offense, if you're pushing, the bottom of that mansion, a lot of players like to sit on that staircase by the A-bomb site. So that's a good one as well. You can see if that player is there. You can either, line your shot up and peek him right away, or you can opt to just go to that second story.
And it's tough. We didn't really get to see yesterday. It's tough. I'm controlling the podcaster, trying to hop to where the action's going to be.
Difficult for him to do multiple things at once.
It's difficult to see exactly, who has their specialist when, who's going to be using it. So I'm sure there were some effective Vision Pulses yesterday that we just didn't see.
Well, the one we saw that was the most effective
Aches,
was
probably, right?
Aches. I believe it was round 11 versus TK. They all decided to go B on Breach. He uses Vision Pulse and just kind of knows that that area is completely open for them to push through. The NV team, he actually ends up baiting one player. There's a player in bottom lab. He jumps over the doorway.
Because it pings you on the map, so they know, like, hey, there's at least one person. Somebody rotate over and check it out. Next thing you know, the entire team's flying at you.
That's awesome about this game. It's like so early in its life cycle.
Yeah.
And the specialist abilities and weapons are so new. I don't think anyone's figured out all of the ways or just effective ways to even combine them in use. Like we saw in that first hard point on evac, CLG, they tried to use the kinetic and purifier in like a tandem. I think there's other specialists that people haven't thought of that you can use in a tandem to really just do some crazy stuff.
No, I could not agree more. But this Stronghold, Stronghold's probably, I'm not the biggest fan of it maybe in something like, CTF and playing Hardpoint sometimes, but I love this map for S&D. I really do, just because when you talk about some maps, like there are ones that are very easy to play. Maybe if you have like your 3 random friends you're playing together, you can kind of get by just playing S&D on certain maps. This map, I think, is just very, very hard from an offensive and defensive side if you are not on the same page.
On defense, it's difficult because if you try and push everybody in a mansion, you leave the B bomb site open, you leave your flank completely open all the way through bunker. So you want to play a player all the way in the back looking towards that side, but if they just keep overwhelming you at mansion, you got to switch something up. In Search and Destroy, competitive Call of Duty, it's going to be 6 rounds to win, a 5-second bomb plant time, and then the defuse time is going to be 7.5 seconds. Team's going to switch sides every round.
Yep, that's the big thing to note if maybe you're new to watching this is the alternating rounds here. So you play offense, you're trying to plant the bomb. Next round, you'll be playing defense. But yeah, I agree with what you said. A lot of this I want to keep eyes on is going to be that bunker side of the map. Because if you're able to it's really the top side of the map. If you can get through, get pressure through there, and get a flank on, that's really when it starts to disrupt everything.
You can see on the mini-map, H2K is going to send one player over towards bunker.
All four
for
flying.
CLG. They're flying out here towards Snow. Legal gets picked off that cover by BL Fire. BL Fire is going to try and wrap all the way around Complex.
That's one way to deal with pressure in building. You all just fly out the front window. Don't even let them get close. And Fear's going off right now, able to pick up a couple of kills.
If he's able to stay alive, there's that one player coming mansion. It's going to be Lacefield for H2K. He can make a big play. I mean, both of those players out towards Snow. He's going to be able to pick up one in top mansion. You saw how good of a play it was by CLG, but sometimes when the other team can shoot like that, it doesn't matter how good of a play you can make.
Oh, that was incredible. Lacefield just absolutely, he's tagged up a bit and just incredible shots coming in there as he is able to outgun Methods here. Fantastic stuff. But that, I kind of like that aggressive play from CLG, though. I know it ended at a round loss, but I talked about how difficult it can be at times to hold that building. He decides to just get aggressive with it. Well, the whole team decides to get aggressive with it. Falls a little short, but I like that they're trying to mix things up.
Now let's see what H2K decides to do on defense. So it looks like they're going to keep one player just staring at that B bomb site. He's also able to watch the flank through bunker, but CLG doing another aggressive push going into that top window. Felony doesn't want to push this alone. Going to be a stun coming out of one of the players. Perfect push right there by CLG. Should be able to trade these kills, get control of mansion.
And Methods, I think, saw at least one in the back. That was an incredible first kill there from Felony. You know there's going to be a player sitting kind of behind table or bottom behind couch pretty much at all times. He flies right in, has that pre-aimed, able to win one, but it is going to be FaZe by himself, the S&D mastermind. What can he do? He gets tagged up early. He's got to get out of there. Not able to run away. The M8 from Complex going to be a little too much, and this one will be tied up 1-1. Both teams able to take their first offensive rounds.
And I love the push by CLG into mansion there. You saw Felony just wait before pushing into that kitchen area. I think it was a stun by Methods following him up. Got that guy at the end of the table. You saw Felony use that wall run, picked him up pretty easily. And then right there, they just trade the kills effectively. This round on offense for H2K is going to be interesting. You saw the fast push out of CLG on the last side for defense. They have to be cautious of it again. Probably going to play a little bit further back with some more assault rifles. And CLG not going to push out. So you see the guys on H2K just kind of sitting, waiting for that push. Got to be mindful of the clock here, Maven. Can't let it get down too low. We've seen this happen to teams time and time again. They just wait too long to make a play on the offensive side of things.
Well, let's watch FaZe for a second. He knows he has one there at that mid wall. See if he's able to connect here with this sniper. They're playing slow, like you said. There he's able to connect, take out Methods. Unfortunately, gets caught in the corner. We'll see if he can find any more with the sniper. Now you have the advantage. So if you're up 4-3, we know how difficult it can be to defend building. You know how difficult it can be to break in as well. What would you like to see them do at 4-3? Do you just get in, go right now?
I think you have an opportunity to wait, look for another pick. I think especially, you know, you have that sniper rifle.
And this is wide open now. So this is what I was talking about. He's basically right outside bunker. He can wrap around. That person watching the back bunker now had to rotate into building.
Once that guy dies, you know, if you don't stack a mansion, they're going to take that easy. You see Legal wins another gunfight in the kill feed against Felony. But if you don't stack inside that mansion after you lose one guy, the offensive team is just going to take that pretty easily. But now this leaves the B-bomb site completely free. Lacefield in a perfect position to watch the flank. All the other players on H2K have to do is worry about this mid-cut, worry about them coming through the mid-snow area.
And he should have had one. Legal played it perfectly, waiting for somebody to come there from mid-cut, but not able to take the player out. He still has him tagged up. He's providing enough of a distraction. Now it's going to be Lacefield trying to check the bomb. He does see there's one on it. Gets shots in, not able to kill him. Can he pick it up? Finally, he's able to take out the L-Fire, but now it is going to be a 1v1. So Legal in good position to deal with that exact play, but does end up dropping. Now, 1-on-1. Can Lacefield do it? He doesn't have enough time to check. Is he going to be able to get it? He'll be able to pick it up. Lacefield went big in round one with the final 2 kills. Going to get the final 2 here as well, as they're going to take a 2-1 advantage.
Player, once you're able to cause some movement on the defensive side of things, force them to stack inside mansion, it was Lacefield. That big play going all the way around bunker side. He was able to pick up one player on bomb. I mean, if he's not over there and he's playing snow with the rest of his teammates, that player diffuses that bomb round over.
That's why I kept trying to point it out on the minimap. You know, as soon as you get that 1 kill on offense, typically the player watching flank through bunker is the one that's going to have to rotate to help building. You need 3 people in there. It's so hard to defend with 2. There's too many angles that you have to actually watch. So you'll see him rotate over.
Even with 3 players, right? If they decide to push it with all 4, somebody's got to come up big, pick up a 2-piece. They're not going to be able to trade those effectively. You see CLG, I think they're going to go back to that same play they did before, Maven. They're just looking through that top mansion area. You see Felony hit with a stun. See what his teammates decide to do. See if they can force some kind of movement.
And they're
here,
playing
catch one player off guard.
They're playing a more passive kind of building defense, I guess you would say. A lot of times you'll see teams play a little more aggressive. You'll have a guy in bedroom kind of watching rocks. You may play a little more aggressive down below. They're playing very, very passive. A lot of them are almost back towards their spawn at this point. Look at that. There's 3 players in the back.
So they had 2 players in mansion. They had 1 player down by the A-bomb site behind the couch, and then they had 1 player up top in that dining room area, that kitchen table. And then the other 2 just played in the back of that spawn. They're going to give the B bomb site to CLG. Now just try and play for a retake here. And I like the play by H2K, that you get a player on that B bomb site, forces these players on CLG to come out and challenge, but you know, the man advantage just too strong. Nobody in position to trade that kill right there with Lacefield. Don't think it would have went in H2K's favor, even if they did. Good offensive round from CLG.
And that's exactly what you got to do when you get that first kill. Use those numbers. And you saw as soon as somebody dropped, they all kind of just backed out of the building, like just kind of gave it up. They're like, at this point, all right, we'll give them the plant. Let's try and do a retake. See if we can just pick up a couple of kills. Maybe catch him while he's planting bomb. Your options get pretty limited. This is one of the harder maps, in my opinion, to play from a man down.
What's weird is they give up, you know, the B bomb site pretty much. They have a guy watching it.
This is what I mean. Usually you have someone much more aggressive here. At least, not necessarily pushing two from wall runs. Illegal just got all the information in the world. He knows exactly what they're doing. He knows to have flown out. But look at this. They're rotating right back. They're going to get right out of dodge, rotate back.
Well, look at how slow it forces H2K to play.
Oh, my God. They haven't moved up at all.
I think we're going to see a fight go up, down in that bunker area. They know Lacefield's trying to get control of that. Such a power position he got into the last time. CLG doesn't want to let that happen again.
Yeah, so 30 seconds plus, we're at 40 seconds now, has been burned, and they haven't even crossed the halfway point of the map because that early aggression just scared Fears on one side. It was able to back up then Lacefield at a bunker as well.
They also learned that they don't want to peek in case FaZe has that sniper rifle in his hand.
How important the side of bunker can be.
Yeah, once Lacefield gave it up, now they give it to the defensive side of things, and Felony is in a prime position to make a play. As soon as he finds out they're pushing into
didn't see him to the left. No. He's actually going to get caught. I believe he was on the screen. I know it can be tough to tell with X-ray sometimes, but that was the perfect play, the perfect flank that just didn't work out for him. Now, he does have a heat wave here. How does BL Fire decide to use this? He's got one up by wall run, not able to spot him as he had one low by car as well. Now Method's trying to come in, and he's going to get gunned by Fears as he's going to pick up the final two. And that's, oh, God, that's
tough. It was dangerous because the clock's running down. They took a lot of time to make that push.
They really played it very, very well on defense. I mean, they slowed him up.
Felony sees that player, they win the round.
I thought they had played it almost perfectly. It's just because he missed that player. If he got that first blood, everything goes very differently.
If he kills that one player outside of Snow, they pinch them inside of Mansion. That's a round win for CLG. So, nope, Felony with a little bit of a miscue. Don't know if we actually saw him.
It's tough to tell sometimes with the X-ray whether he was behind the rock or not. But here they go, getting aggressive early, and that's going to be the first kill coming in for Felony. Method's able to grab one as well as they're pushing into bottom bedroom. And you still see they're so worried about that flank. There's a player still waiting up there watching bunker, but now he's going to rotate over and help. Is they have a 3 versus 2 advantage. Might as well get the bomb down, work then from that position.
See, Complex was watching the back here. Let's see how the two players on H2K decide to attack this. It's going to be Fears and FaZe last two live. Does Fears not see him sitting right next to that tree?
Oh, God. He was just sitting right in the corner. Are the players blind in this game? Yeah, I'm the old one that needs glasses.
That's unbelievable. He was sitting right there.
There's the vision pulse.
And he doesn't tag
give away his position and get caught there. Unreal.
Fears having a good game, but that is a rough one to swallow. I mean, he sees Methods just sitting there in the corner doing absolutely nothing. Doesn't see him, then pops a vision pulse, gets tagged from behind. FaZe trying to do something incredible here. 13 seconds left, has to take out 2 and defuse the bomb. Doesn't look like he's going to have enough time.
No, they're just dipping and diving. Not much he can do, as this one's been so back and forth. And that's another position. He was so out in the open there, I thought he was behind something. I was like, there's not a rock in that corner. What's he looking at?
It just looked ridiculous. Like, look at how skinny that tree is, and then it's just Method's large character. Like, don't look here.
Then I thought for a second maybe he was playing it slow so he could pick up both kills. But once he killed the one he turned, I was like, oh, he definitely did not see him sitting there.
Well, right, that would have been a good play. If he would have saw Methods there, knew he had to jump on him anyway, killed the player on bomb, then took him out.
That's what I thought he was doing.
He just killed him and walked away. I was like, well, I guess that little skinny tree blocking that large character is actually a pretty decent amount of cover.
All right, well, I'm going to keep an eye on bunker side for just a second to see how they're going to play. It looks like they're playing very, very slow. So it should be FaZe sniping again. Remember that round he was able to get that pick on an aggressive middle play from Methods, but Methods now has certainly backed things up. Let me get him highlighted, see where he's going to be playing from now. Yeah, he's all the way in the back of spawn. Just looking, he has that little angle there, so he can see if a player pushes towards B, he'll know that they need to. They're playing kind of a B retake mentality, right? They're kind of giving it up to some degree so they can. He has, what, 2 concussions in his back pocket, so he can check it.
No, B's pretty hard to retake. At least, I mean, you can push through bunker, you know, go all the way through snow, try and retake it from the backside, but I think just retaking it straight up is going to be difficult. Fears definitely sees that Methods is playing in that position, so what they will decide to do, they get actually FaZe right up on the bomb. They're going to put Legal in mid-map. He has to be cautious of this top mansion player, and it's going to be BL Fire able to take him out. Kill traded by Lacefield, though, so
That's
not
what you
the
need.
worst
That's a good
position.
trade, though.
Yep, it's a good trade. It's going to be FaZe taking out Methods on the bomb, so it's going to be Fears. Last one alive, pretty far away here. Maven, don't know if he's going to be able to make this play.
Well, he's able to get one. Just has one more to deal with. It's going to be 1v1 here. Fierce Earth complex. He sees him. He gets jumped. Can he get? He's got to reload. He's got to came out in his back pocket. Can't get it. Why are you challenging? Get out of here. Run away to some other map, Spheres. If you end up on evac, no one would blame you.
He had a large field full of rocks to hide behind.
And the only thing
directly to his left.
Only thing he would have been at risk of is maybe if that player turns and goes straight for the defuse, maybe he doesn't check it, but still, it's better than that.
You can get into Mansion and look.
He felt confident that I guess he could win that with the RK5. Look at this was one of the more awkward gunfights you're going to see in Call of Duty.
It's like, I'm going to take my chances.
The chances did not work in his favor.
No, he probably, he could have a chance to take that one back. I bet you he would have opted to run.
All right, he needed a glitch. I guess rewind and try again. Here we go. 3-4 is going to be the score. Let's hop over to the offense here for CLG. BL Fire, 7 and 5.
They got two specialists. You got Heatwave and Vision Pulse on the side of CLG.
And you have...
Oh, and you have active, so you got
you have everything. Oh, God.
Oh, everyone's loaded up. So
I don't even know where to go right now with my hands.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the HCXD going to just kind of lead the way. They're going to be able to see that one player. Now do you use active to challenge this guy?
If you see he's there, or he is fly in, but unfortunately not going to be able to clean it up. Does he have someone to clean it? Yep, his Complex is able to fly in. So that's a little bait and switch kind of with the car there as he's able to go in. They're going to get it right down. Complex still has his kinetic armor. Now, do you push to their spawn and pop this kinetic? See if you can get one. Doesn't even have a chance to do it as he's going to be taken out immediately.
Yeah, it was illegal actually using his active camo, getting right up onto bomb. And as soon as it goes down, two players taken out at the hands of Legal on the bomb site. But it's going to be 2-on-1 here. Never mind,
Nice
Legal
shot.
with an amazing snipe, working on an ace here if he's able to pick up this last player.
Unbelievable. Legal starting to come alive. He was, what, 2 and 6 before this as he's working on a potential ace, and he's got 15 seconds to work with here. We'll take a look. BL Fire going to be set up really right top right. Going to be flying over his head. It's awkward. He gets hit with the heat wave. He can't find him. Where is he at? And he's going to be taken out.
He lasted way too long. As soon as he got heat waved, I expected that one to end. See what this looks like from BL Fire.
Pretty much all you can do.
I guess affect the bomb a little bit.
Once you get heat waved, I mean, the only way you're getting a kill is if the player's directly in your crosshair. Like we saw Clayster get a kill last night because it was more luck
or
than
if the player on the team just misses an entire clip.
Yeah, missing. I mean,
but you're not going to see that in a game like this. Yeah.
All right, 5-3, CLG. Are they going to be able to take the game 2? They already were able to take game 1, which that's the one we weren't really sure about. Well, any of these, really. Yeah. The respawns, I wasn't sure who'd be the more competent team in
on
S&D.
Offense, the only thing you have in terms of abilities loaded up is going to be kinetic armor, felony with a nice use of camo, pushing in, just disrupting the push of H2K. You see Complex picking up a kill with the HCXD, putting that man advantage in favor of CLG. Yeah, Methods with Vision Pulse. Definitely, I think this is a round you decide to use it, Maven, gain
Close
that
it out.
information.
Yeah, in this game.
You have the kinetic
too.
armor of Complex as well. I think this is definitely one you use that Vision
and
Pulse,
they've
see
got
where the players are going.
This should be game. You 3-2 advantage, 2 specialists versus 0. They should be able to wrap this one up. And you've just
I think you use both of them this round with that man advantage. You should be able to close this one out. I mean, if you use both of those and you can't close out a 3v2 scenario, you are not going to win many games in stage 1.
And I don't even know what options they have right now. Do you just try to get bombed down? Do you try to push through their spawn potentially and pick up a kill? They've searched all through buildings.
I guess challenge this player in the back.
I mean, he was by himself until BL Fire rotated back. Now they're going to plant, but now BL Fire is rotated over. He's going to be ready to jump on this.
They're going to wait for the plant.
And they catch one at car. BL Fire gets him. It's just going to be fierce. He's 9 and 6, leading his team. Can he clutch it in a 1 versus 3? The Vision Pulse comes in from Methods. That's the time you use it. You're up. You need one more round to end this one. You have the Vision Pulse. You have to find the player. And Methods does a really good job using it. Tags him up from behind. Close it out. CLG now up 2-0.
Well, even if both players were alive, let's say Legal is alive as well. Once that bomb goes down, Methods pops that Vision Pulse. They'll take eyes on both players.
Well, you can
see where they both are.
Exactly.
And then you just pinch on them.
That's the tough part. If you don't know, like right when they get the plant, you don't know which way they're going to go.
Right.
You know what power, quote unquote, power position are they going to go to? Like which side are they going to fight?
You can stay on bomb, look driveway. You can go to the staircase.
Are they going to go to the car? Are they going to go behind the couch? There's all these different places you can kind of go from A. And the Vision Pulse works out perfectly there. He's able to clean both. That's why I like Vision Pulse in that particular building because there's so many avenues, so many routes, up, down, low, behind. It's like a wave.
that was a wave. That was not like a upper, lower. That was a...
I have no idea, Matt. No idea. Sometimes my arms, they get a little crazy.
Yeah.
But CLG looking
like a big
strong thus far, and it looks like it is going to be for our third game. It's going to be Uplink, then on Fringe. That's one. Fringe is probably my favorite map in the game for sure. Well. This is one that I definitely like to watch. I remember thinking back to the LAN qualifier. We had Elevate on that map that, again, they look like the Harlem Globetrotters. It was ridiculous. Just pass after pass, tossing the rock around.
Yeah.
We'll see if either of these teams can really impress us, especially I love watching the passing element of it, really sharing it, getting it around.
And with how good H2K looked yesterday in their match, CLG coming right back off that loss from Optic Gaming. Don't want to start off 0-2 here in stage 1. We can take a look at the scoreboard. FaZe, the man you look at in S&D to really kind of pull a lot of that weight, in the slaying department, come up with some good strategies. 3-9 in that one. He had a rough go. Fears had a good game, 9-7. Then BL Fire double pause at 10-5. Great game for CLG.
Maybe this is a valid question. This is one I have.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we know that when you're talking about, let's say, some of these S&D tournaments.
Right there by FaZe.
We're talking about the S&D tournaments, and whether it's UMG, whether it's a 3v3, 4v4, or one and done, whatever you're playing in. Right now, since they're at this point, they're not using Ban and Protect right now. So a lot of these players are used to using Vesper. That's what it's been. When you switch now to the competitive rules and you have Ban Protect, do you think that really hurts a player that's been grinding those? You would think, because you certainly play a different way when you have the Vesper in your hand. Like, absolutely. I've played enough that I know you play very differently.
You get used to kills that you would normally get.
So I much prefer, I think it's a much more competitive, like when you have Ban Protect, I think S&D is 1,000 times better than not having it in, without question. But if you've played 200 hours of S&D without it, and now you're shifting to using it, you got to think it's a little bit of a
it's a huge
switch,
difference.
Right?
I mean, you go from just take those 2 guns, or let's throw 3. Let's throw the Kuda in there, for instance. Yeah. And you go from Vesper to VMP and Kuda. It is a huge difference, and you see Legal gonna protect the Shiva there
like,
early.
Thank you.
Right, that is
I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, right after that, you expected High Caliber to be gone. If you have High Caliber on the Shiva,
yeah, okay, well, let's go through that. So that's one thing I want to kind of focus on today, especially for the new viewers.
Yeah.
Why some of these things happen maybe. High Caliber, the reason that's a big one, you'll see it taken out in a lot of games, but especially with the Shivas, because that Shiva, what the High Caliber does, it's basically an increased multiplier for headshot damage. It ends up being a one-shot kill to the head. So that's a big reason you'll see that come out. Vesper, you're going to see banned pretty frequently, because right now, pretty easy to say it's the most dominant submachine gun in the game. And then Afterburner. This is one, again, when we see this being banned, what it tells me is they're trying to take the G-Slide out of the game. They don't want to have those 3, 4, 5 chains where you can fly down tracks. All of a sudden, the flank gets hit in 2 seconds.
So what I was going to say is with Afterburner gone, that makes Overdrive very good on this map. I mean, you can pick up that drone, get to the other team's base rather quickly. That's the last ban. I like that one from CLG.
That's probably my... I think the G-Slide is cool in the fact that it adds kind of this skill gap for people that are able to do it, but I guess my biggest issue with it right now is it kills the effectiveness of Overdrive. It really does. So now, with it being out, I like that it becomes at least a conversation with Ban Protect, because you need to either ban it, or if you don't, it's going to be in the game for sure, without Afterburner.
It's something we haven't actually seen teams do or try yet. Like, what if a team, for instance, I mean, we see how Afterburner affects CLG, right? They have to, that ban by H2K directly affects what CLG has to do. They have to get rid of Overdrive, or they opt to, risk it, play with it in the game. Do we eventually see somebody, argument's sake, ban Tac Mask? If you ban Tac Mask, does it force the other team to use 2 of their ban and protects for flashes and concussions? Do we ever see something like that come into play?
Well, yesterday we saw flash and concussion taken out of every game, even with Tac Mask. I think the main issue right now is that players aren't running Tac Mask. They just aren't running Tac Mask or Flak.
So if they're not running it, why would you even ban?
Just so they're not there, so you don't have to deal with them, I guess. Like, they don't want to use Tac Mask. They don't want to have to use it. They want to run Blast Suppressor. If it's S&D, they want to run Dead Silence maybe as well. So you basically...
well, let's say even if you protected flashbangs, not even with the intention of using them, and then it forces the other team to use...
That, I think, is a better way to look at it.
Right.
If someone protects some of these concussions, tacticals, that then I think is going to force people to potentially have to use Tac Mask. Because right now, I mean, even if you didn't ban them, I don't know that I'd be that worried about it, because people aren't really using them.
Look at what H2K did during the qualifier. They got rid of Flak, forced the other teams to get rid of War Machine, frags, Semtexes. It's like almost all of your ban and protect votes used that right there.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've seen a team. You kind of protect one of those early on, or
Yeah.
get rid of something huge like that,
that's-
it forces the other team to use up a lot of their votes that they'd probably like to use on something
Well,
else.
it's interesting because, I mean, in this series, it might make sense to maybe ban TAC, but like yesterday, we saw Concussion and Flash banned pretty much every single game. It didn't matter if TAC was protected or banned. It had no influence on it. It was just they wanted it out of the game pretty much every single series. So we'll have to wait and see if maybe that has some impact here. But for the most part, it's really just been the importance of Blast Suppressor. You know, if you're a new player and you don't know what it does, if you're thrusting around the map, trying to use that added movement, it pings where you're on the map without Blast Suppressor. So it changes the game entirely.
Blast Suppressor, Fast Hands, two, I don't want to say must-need perks.
They're the two most important perks in the game.
They're the two most important perks when it comes to competitive. So I think those are the two you definitely want to be running. We actually go into the menu. We can show you guys who's going to be running what specialist. So methods. Going to be using active. We have a kinetic from CLG, Heatwave, and a Scythe. And then on the side of H2K, you got kinetic, active, Annihilator, and Scythe. So H2K yet again going with the 2 weapons, 2 abilities. And then uplink for all you new viewers at home. Score limit's going to be unlimited. Time limit going to be 5 minutes per half. So we're going to play 2 halves. Team's going to switch sides at halftime. Then a 5-second respawn delay. If you're able to pick up that drone, run it into the other team's base, jump into the goal, you're going to get 2 points.
The easiest way,
if you toss it in, going to be 1.
Easiest way to describe it, though, I mean, think of it sort of like you're playing 4-on-4 basketball for them. Pick up hoops. You're trying to get that drone, trying to pass it around, trying to get it.
I had a lot of angry
Sixers
Sixers fans in my mentions yesterday, by the way.
Oh, did you? As we were just roasting the Sixers.
I didn't even know there were Sixers fans.
I don't think there's many left. Ever since Iverson retired, they all just pretend to be. Yeah. But here we see Complex able to pick up 1 at Trax. And Trax for me is very important. Is that where most of the action goes down? No. But if you're going to hit a quick flank, if you're going to leave that open, that's really, really a big potential to be disrupted. You do see BLFire running a Shiva. Let's see how many players are actually going to have that in hand right now.
So you got Methods with a Shiva, you had BLFire with a Shiva, and you have Fears and Fizzer for the side of H2K running it as well. Legal's still going to opt to use that M8. And I think you still can use the M8 versus the Shiva. You know, the Shiva, if you miss that first bullet and the other guy's got an M8 and he has a shot, like Legals, you're pretty much dead. But you see Methods using it, just pop players off of the spawn. I love using the Shiva. It reminds me a little bit of the FAL, Black Ops 2. That was one of my favorite guns. You saw some incredible stuff out of guys like Parasite and Clay.
I saw they got high caliber. I didn't see if rapid fire was left in. I feel like it's shooting pretty darn quick, but is that with rapid fire? I've used the Shiva quite a bit, but right now I can't tell if it does.
I think rapid went.
I think it did too. I think it did too. For a second, I thought it was just shooting faster than normal, but Methods just has that quick trigger finger. He's 6-2 right now, and now let's take a look. It's going to be Fears kind of controlling the drone right now. It's an early 2-0 lead here for CLG. He's going to decide 2 wrap fences here. Wait in small room. He needs some help. He's pretty much by himself. He's got the MR6 in hand. We saw Nagafin just putting on a show. By the way, did you see the clip today on COD Competitive?
No.
Oh my God! It was basically Nagafin with an MR6 getting a kill from pretty much B-bomb to like the second mark point, just with like a 3-tap. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah, if you're looking for even more clips, just highlights some competitive play. Reddit, great spot to go. COD Competitive, good community over there talking all the things about competitive Call of Duty. See, right now, the drone just being played in the middle of the map. CLG obviously gets a 2-point score, but H2K not able to get any of that mid-map control. See, Legal trying to push up with the drone, and it looked like, he was heat-waved. Methods actually takes his teammate out with the nade, going for that 1-point toss over the building, not able to connect with that. And we talk about how important it is for these players. Practice those 1-point throws. You may say, practice. Who needs practice? But these guys definitely need to be able to knock down those 1-pointers.
Well, it's almost, it's like practicing free throws or something. If you played basketball when you were younger, it's
Another
just really
Sixers
practice, and you're able to really improve on those shots. They can be very difficult to hit, depending on if you're wall running like that, trying to hit it on a 180 or something. But there's a lot of tosses. These players, they're premeditated. They've practiced these, they've worked on them, and they're able to hit some incredible shots. So far, though, pretty tight game early on. Now, Matt, when we're talking about maybe the stronger sides here as we get into this one, what do you think is the preferred side for most of the top teams right now?
I think when you're pushing towards Grandma,
okay,
I think that's a side that you're able to just pick up the drone, just hit that wall run, hit some easy 1-point throws. Right here, you see where CLG is trying to fight from. I mean, they get into bar, and they're able to make some nice things happen as well. You see the drone getting tossed into the base of H2K, not able to connect, and it's going to be H2K have to wrap all the way back to their base to get that drone, but see Legal pushing all the way up with active camo. I'd like to see him try and get the drone in his hands, make a play with that.
Well, he's got the kinetic armor here. I mean, he can really almost guarantee himself a 1-point play if he gets close enough. If he decides to pop this, if he would have hit that, he might have had a good chance, you know, despite if maybe a headshot was
I
going
don't
to command.
hate saving it.
No,
I mean, a minute
but
left.
you get abilities pretty darn quick, you know, especially if you're having a solid game. Like Lacefield's been playing pretty darn well throughout this series, but he opts to not use it. Might have been able to get a 1-point play there potentially.
Well, let's see how many players. You have 3 players for H2K running flak, and then there's going to be one
he
running
pops
over
it here,
clock.
so this is the difference. He decides to hit it, but it runs out just before he gets it in. So that's the other side of it. You decide to use it, get shut down, and now it's been wasted. So now looking back, you know, the save may have been the right play.
Again, you have 2 players for CLG running overclock, and I like that. You know, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. When Afterburner's gone, do you throw that on,
So
get those abilities
Complex
and weapons pretty fast?
And BLFire, you'll see it at the bottom of your screen here in the perk spots. I mean, the perk 1, the blue one. That's going to allow them to get their abilities that much quicker.
I like it on the players that are running the weapons. Abilities you get pretty quick. If you're a player that likes to run Scythe or Annihilator, I like that. You know, you're able to get it often, you know, more often than usual, especially if you're going off. You know, if you're putting up big numbers, you're going to get it 2-3 times a game. And you can cause tons of damage, especially a map like this, you know, with how long range the sights are. If you have a guy like, you know, BLFire or some of the other players you've seen do nice things in this map, Fears with the Annihilator comes to mind, you're able to pick up some big kills, lead to some easy points.
I was seeing if Legal might be able to get a last-ditch effort, try to get a 1-pointer in, but just running out of time there. So CLG, first half, going to go to them in control, and that first score came in early while we were just really looking through classes just to see what everyone was running. They were able to hit early. Then we saw nothing really in the score department for the final 4 minutes of that
You didn't really see any offense at all, to be quite honest. I mean, there was that one play where Lacefield got close, he got to White Truck, had kinetic, didn't use it, but it seemed like H2K, other than that one and then the legal attempt to throw it over Granny's house, they didn't really get much anything going on the offensive side.
No, I mean, this is a game type which typically is kind of played in layers. You know, you try to inch your way up the map as a squad, pick up kills, move forward, pick up kills, move forward. Not going to be nearly as many just desperation 1-point plays, typically in this game versus maybe Advanced Warfare. You really have to work on control, and that's why we're going to see mid-map where we see methods. This is such a key position, whether you're holding L, holding White Truck to really get forward. Now let's go to FaZe though, as he's 17-11. I heard the Scythe coming out. He was able to pick up a couple here, just locking down
he was the
tracks.
last line of defense. You know, he dies right there. CLG is probably able to pick up the drone. Don't want to say put in a 2, but they're going to get a good chance to at least get 1 point out of that. FaZe picks up 2 with the Scythe. Talk about how the weapons, I think we're going to start to see them used more right there. Definitely a good example of why.
Well, now they've got some pressure really in the top base. Can they get a pass forward is the question. If they can toss this in the barn, they might give themselves a 1 point. Look how far they're spawning out right now. They have them spawning back alley basically by the second hard point. This is the control you want, but they've got to get the darn drone forward.
Yeah, I've seen Envy do this before where they'll have, you know, JCap or a guy like Slasher up here in barn. They'll try and get TP the drone, and he tries to pass it all the way in. And you see, going all the way around, he gets heatwave. BLFire actually takes out Lacefield, but you see Legal able to put that one in, tie the game up. Big play right there, even though he was heatwaved. I didn't think he was going to be able to make that.
Look where they're spawning. I mean, what do you want to do? Do you overextend or wrap back? At this point, they've been deciding to wrap back, but this is going to be at least 1 more point. If FaZe can continue to keep picking up kills in the back, they're just going to relay dunks here. They see 1 more. He's going to say, screw it, jump through. He's short, though. Didn't have enough juice. He can't get in. He's going to get caught. That's going to be Felony able to shut that down. Do they have the defense there to hold it back? Nice long-range shot coming in with the CUDA from Complex. They're able to pick it up, but that's going to be Fears there. He's going to have the Annihilator. Is there anyone at home to try and pick up that score? Nobody there. They're just having to reset. I thought with Fears coming in to get that Annihilator
kill. He had 2 or 3 kills with the Annihilator back there, and they're not able to convert it into points. That is a tough one for H2K, as they had that perfect setup. They were able to rally it out. You saw the guys on CLG spawning back alley. That's such a difficult position to fight out of. And you know, once they got that drone into barn, thought they would have been able to rally off some scores.
All right, well, it's Legal trying to get back to his bread and butter spot. He was top barn, being very, very effective with, again, pushing that spawn
CLG needs to
out.
get back to their base and kind of flood a lot of these players out.
Well, you know, and that's what you have to decide. When you get pushed out to that alley spawn, do you have to go back and take control of your base? Do you try to overextend and take control of middle to try and get the drone and cut it off?
You overextend and don't win the gunfights.
If you're going to get punished even worse, right?
It's just going to get even worse. I think you rotate back and you try and get control of your base. I personally hate the idea of going
the headshot through the fence there for Legal. Now he has the camo. He's going to toss it in. Do you pop this camo to try to go back there and pick it up and get a dunk potentially?
You know, you got 2 teammates that have won gunfights by tracks. You had some help. Seemed like FaZe picking one up in top barn. Fears a little bit slow coming on the overextension. Look at this. BLFire has a chance to bring this one back alley, or at least get some yards on it towards a teammate. It looks like they're going to be able to run this. And this is a map maybe a lot like Infection, where you can throw the drone cross lane. Like, if they would have had a guy set up mid-map, Felony would have been able to go from auto and throw that one towards that player. Nobody in position to
He
make a
should have
play,
waited
though.
one more second. If he had methods behind him there to try and pick up that kill, especially
Make it
if
a
having
combo
the camo
with
as well.
camo, yeah.
That would have been a fantastic play, but Felony just tries to get a little too aggressive, I think, tries to get forward a little too quickly. And every shot missed there. Who was that? It was Lacefield trying to take out the car, not able to connect, but they've got it forward here. Are they going to be able to fire through a score? It's going to be Yellfire, and he gets the dunk right as he was about to confront a player. His teammates able to clean that up for him, and they've got a 4-2 advantage.
If you
just
can
under
get
90
control
seconds here.
of that Granny's area and you can get that player with the drone up to the front, you can wall run around that corner. Gives you pretty good cover, able to jump in for those 2-point scores.
All right, well, CLG has control yet again, Matt. You know, look at the time here. Do you try to play the clock a little bit, dance around in your spawn, maybe throw it out, or do you keep being aggressive? Because you end up, I don't agree with Turtling.
I think Complex was going to, I originally thought he was going to wait there and try and heat wave the guys coming around the corner, but looks like he's going to wrap this one all the way around to the opposite
Just
side
dance
of the
around,
map.
right? You only have 60 seconds left.
Well, here's that throw
what
I
is
was
this
talking
toss?
about. They're
Let's
going to
see
throw
it.
it mid. Yeah, they're going to try and throw this one across the lanes where BL Fire was. And do we see that happen on Infection a decent amount, where you take the drone all the way right, force the opposing team to rotate over, and then they're going to have to
think of, I mean, soccer, that's a huge play. You know, you bring it out wide, you have that massive cross after the defense shifts over,
but
ends
now
up leading to incredible plays. Same type of mentality here they were trying to pull
Now it forces your team off the spawn here to go all the way to that opposite side of the map. You see FaZe and Lacefield pick up 2. Legal with another one. It's going to be Methods, the only one in the base for CLG. Needs to go big here. You see the kinetic armor popped at a perfect time by Lacefield, putting in a 2-point play, tying it up here. Do we see H2K come back with a late second score? You have Fears getting the pass off to Lacefield. He's in top bar.
He needs help.
10 seconds left. Looks like the drone gonna go into the hands of CLG. So they should be able to hold on to this one to force OT, but fantastic plays there in the final seconds by H2K.
If they had a camo to pop, or anything, one kinetic
Perfect
armor left.
on kinetic armor by Lacefield.
Oh, that was fantastic. Yeah. They were one specialist away from really rallying those 3 points in the final 30 seconds there to be able to take game 3. And that keeps this series alive. You're just tuning in. It's a 2-0 advantage for CLG. So that clutch play at the end there by Lacefield and company keeps them alive here for overtime. Who do you want to watch as we kick off OT?
You know, let's see. Let's cycle through and see who has abilities or weapons. If we have, we see just an HCXD out of the side of H2K. Doesn't look like anybody close.
Really.
No, not at all. I mean, we saw the scythe being used. I think they used a lot of their specialist abilities when they threw that drone across the lane, and you're going to see Lacefield with the HC not able to pick up that kill, but 3 kills in the kill feed come in for H2K at the beginning of the round. This would be a huge early score if they're able to convert here, Maeve.
I thought they had a pretty good advantage here, but the spawn being favorable in the back corner. Can they get the 1-point toss? Tries to toss over the building. There it is.
Beautiful.
Nice toss coming in there as they're able to take that 1-0 lead. 28 seconds. That's a pretty darn quick score.
That's just about as quick as you can do it. I mean, they
and
get
this
3
cover
down
here,
off the
this kill is huge.
Fantastic shots by Lacefield.
If he doesn't pick up that kill, Legal might get dropped there.
Yeah. How many SMG players make that shot?
Not many.
How many SMG players hit that guy?
Maybe, was he weak, or are those just perfect shots?
I don't know. He drilled him with a bunch of shots. Not many SMG players in the world able to convert on that one easily.
Oh, that was disgusting. Good stuff from Lacefield, able to cover his squad mates. They're going to get the 1-point toss through now. You can see clock winding down. CLG has to score quickly. Seems like half the time already off the clock. Methods, though, able to pick up 1. Can he get a second on the corner? Not able to grab it. 2 down, make it 3 with the 5-second respawn. This should be it. Unless Complex somehow pulls off a miracle, this game will be all but over. Time just winding down here. Final seconds going to tick away. H2K able to stay alive.
Ooh, fantastic comeback by them. You know, CLG, I think where the game really got away from them is, you know, they tried to throw that drone cross map. They used all their specialist abilities. So you saw Heat Wave used there, you saw an active, and you saw the scythe come out from them. They had nothing going into that last 30 seconds. BL Fire has that scythe, and he goes into the back of their base, and he's just sitting behind cover behind one of those rocks. It's going to be hard to get that drone in there, even with
what I was
kinetic.
asking. With 30 seconds left, you know, we saw, I think it was Complex had the drone in his hand, just kind of dancing around a little bit. He was in a little room, kind of ran out the middle.
Well, he had Heat Wave in that little room.
Yeah. But would you like to see them just take it back of their base, set up with some ARs, and then throw it out as soon as you see some pressure?
He is sitting all the way in the back of his base, being guarded by a scythe. I cannot see the drone getting back into the hands of H2K. No. And then making a comeback.
You had to dance around for 60 seconds is really all it was to close out this with a 3-0 sweep. But unfortunately, CLG falling a little bit short, but now we extend the series.
CLG trying to beat those top echelon teams.
Yeah.
You know, they have a chance to put H2K away. You know, they have the drone in their hand. It was about, what, a minute left, I would say? don't really remember.
Oh no, it was under 60 seconds for sure. Because because I was saying, I was like, you only have a minute left. You decide to just kind of. I mean, hold it at this point. I know we don't agree with turtling, but under 60 seconds is kind of that time
let's
where
say they bring it back there and they win a few of those gunfights and they have the scythe and they take out 1-2 players. Those guys spawn so far away. If H2K does get the drone back, it's maybe 10-15 seconds left. We can take a look at the scoreboard here. FaZe doing a nice job, 28-22. Him and Legal really had good games. The Shiva came into play in favor of H2K.
Well, I think it was
big
Fears,
time in that
Fears first protect, and then you're going to see FaZe and Legal both running it. Both have identical games, almost.
Felony had a rough game, 18-28. Had 1 2-point play, but need to put some more kills up on the board than that. And you saw that Shiva definitely changed the game in that one.
And this is the one where I didn't think he'd get through as he gets hit with the heat wave. His teammate, though, I think there was a team kill there that led them to be able to get it through and tie up the game. So now it's 2-2. And this is the one where I think he misses a jump. Yeah, he doesn't have enough in the tank. It is going to miss what potentially could have been a 2-point score. Luckily for them, it doesn't end up punishing him.
Do you think we see a comeback by H2K going into CTF? CLG, a veteran team, they have some players who played Black Ops 2. CTF, obviously, a little bit different comparing the two. You see the kinetic armor used right there to get a score. Legal, some fantastic cover by Lacefield, able to throw that one in for 1. That was the score we saw in OT. Do you think we see a comeback, forcing a Game 5 here by H2K?
I would love to see it. I mean, we started off with an incredible Game 1 yesterday that went to Game 5. Round 11, it was an absolute treat for everyone. I would love to see something potentially in this one as well, but I guess, yeah. I mean, I can see it happening for the main reason that you got to be pretty frustrated if you're CLG. We're 60 seconds away from a sweep. You don't play it as well as you potentially could have. Like you said, they may have had some extra specialists if they had saved them for another minute or so, really, for that final push. Instead, H2K clutches up. They win in overtime. I'm trying to think yesterday if the overtime kind of affected the game at all. That series was so back and forth. I wouldn't say as much. This one has been a little more controlled so far by CLG. But we're seeing some life from H2K. I took H2K in the series, so I think they definitely have the potential to do it. If it gets to a Game 5, yeah, that's one I would definitely take H2K. And until I saw how Game 2 went.
CLG try and ban that Shiva out early? We saw how it played in that one. Obviously, didn't go in their favor. They had players running the Shiva as well. Methods put up some pretty big numbers with it.
It's going to be the first ban.
I think
I think potentially the Shiva will be the first ban, unless CLG feels confident they can run a little bit better in CTF. I mean, CTF's a slower map. It certainly is going to favor. Slower game type. It's certainly going to favor the air players.
It's a breach CTF, so this is a map that's a little bit more close-quartered. Don't know. The Shiva, obviously, very good at range. Doesn't shoot fast. I think the M8 gun that is better, more versatile for a map like breach.
Yeah, I mean, breach you can...
Well, shooting like top broken AC is obviously going to be pretty easy with a Shiva.
Yeah, but no, I agree. I mean, breach is a map that you can, not maybe as much as evac, but you have a lot of kind of closed-door gunfights where a sub's going to be pretty effective. Not as many long sight lines as something like Stronghold. So certainly submachines, fast gameplay going to favor this a little bit more. So maybe the Shiva won't be as influential. I mean, you're not going to have, I think we saw 1.3 players running a Shiva on one team. I don't think breach is a map you're going to see that on for sure. I mean,
no.
You would get pummeled just with fast
If your H2K thing where you can really throw the game in your favor is just keep getting rid of these SMGs. I mean, we saw Lacefield do some nice stuff with the VMP, but we've seen what they can do with the Kuda, some of the other ones as well. Obviously, we saw Pharaoh yesterday from Classic, but haven't seen a Pharaoh, at least in any of the matches we saw today.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them trying to just turn this into entirely a sub-game. Just hit, like, every rifle. Just say,
they could do that as well.
Man of War, M8,
Gone.
XR2, ICR. I mean, what you just take out, well, Shiva obviously, but you take out everything basically.
The one gun that we see make the biggest impact. It's like,
forgot Shiva. But yeah, turn this into a more sub-heavy game. But yep, Shiva first. Not surprised to see that whatsoever.
That cannot happen any faster.
Yeah.
Complex knew exactly
we were barely loaded in.
Yeah, Complex knew exactly where he was going with that one. So we'll see how H2K decides to respond. Afterburner, we've seen that go. Almost everyone in this series. Do we see Overdrive go at some point as well? CLG, I believe, banned it in the uplink. Do they go back and get rid of it here in the CTF?
If Afterburner's gone, I think it has to be banned. Again, I don't think you're going to see any play on that exact on that potential specialist unless Afterburner's taken out. If Afterburner is taken out, you're going to see it protector banned, I think, every single time. Or you should at least. If you're trying to slow down the gameplay to a degree, if you take out Afterburner, why would you leave Overclock in it? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, to leave Overdrive in, not the best decision. You see Rapid Fire is going to go as well as High Caliber. Vesper, no surprise. I want to see the Vesper just be used once.
In North America, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. We've seen it. We've seen it in Europe. We've seen
We
it
need
in
like
Australia.
we need like a Vesper counter.
And there's the overdrive. Well, Vesper, yeah.
We've seen some awesome stuff in the other regions, by the way. That you brought that up.
Oh yeah, we absolutely have. I saw Reedy dropping like a turret in the back of somebody's base on Infection
Yeah,
Uplink. I'm like, have fun with that.
I saw Guardians, people getting toasted.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
All right, well, here we see Kinetic Armor and Active Camo. So Specialists really getting hit hard over the final three.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what. So Kinetic Armor, Camo, and your Overdrive, I think, are the three best to lead to potential scores. Just, obviously, if Camo hard, if you're Camo with the flag, maybe to get a pull, whether it's a score. Kinetic Armor also, it makes it a lot easier to score under fire. And then the Overdrive, we've talked at length about that with the speed boost. What do you expect now? Do you think it's going to be a 2-2 split like we've seen? Well, we already see two weapons out of the side of H2K. You got to think it's going to be followed by two abilities. And then on the other side, Psychosis we haven't seen yet in this series. I like this one because we talk about how much slower CTF is. So it's a lot more people L-triggering, holding angles. Psychosis is a good way to kind of get some scouting information on those potential angles.
Yep, throw those drones out as decoys. Players just pop in. Lacefield's going to finish things off with a Vision Pulse. Same with Methods. Two weapons on the side of H2K. How does Overclock come into play? Did those guys with the weapons with Afterbird are gone? We really say, I think CTF, there's not really a reason to run flak. We don't see stuns or flashes go.
There's not really a reason to run flak until
Bomb
a team's
carrier and S&D.
Yeah, but until a team's punishing you with grenades or something, I just don't see any of these league matches really being flak heavy as far as multiple players running it, because it's just not really necessary right now. You don't see many players running grenades.
Do we see stuns and flashes coming into play here? Those don't
Again,
get any action during ban and protect.
This is so different than yesterday because we saw those two go pretty much every single game. They have it at all here. I wouldn't be surprised. We saw Methods. I know Methods and S&D was running double concussions, but I don't think we've really seen that much in the respawn. I thought a flash got hit, but it was heat wave.
We could see somebody with like a tactician maybe. No smokes and stuns.
Smoke certainly help in CTF.
On both, yeah. I think that definitely. Well, Active's gone, so that's one that's good to combo with Smoke. Lacefield and Methods, those guys using Vision Pulse. Would not be surprised to see them running smokes. We saw Scump try and do that yesterday. No combo the Smoke with Vision Pulse, able to obviously see through it, pick players off a little bit easier, know exactly where they are as you're approaching through Smoke. I think this is one we could see the stuns and flashes come into play.
No, you certainly could. And it's one where I think streaks are going to play a big role, especially if you're able to get that Cerberus. You're able to set that up at the back of the base or in the middle. Well, that's what we've seen. Well, we've seen some crazy offensive plays getting around the Cerberus, thinking back to the qualifier EU, that play with Elite.
Play, go look that up.
But that's one I think that can have a really big impact on top middle, especially you can kind of, with CTF, it's really just about holding those lanes. You kind of have top middle, you have pushing through Palace, you have kind of that outside push towards the B-bomb. You're going to have these kind of three lanes. That's how most of the maps are set up. When you have a Cerberus, and you can kind of lock down one side, right? What is it? How does it take four AMPs or whatever it is? Yeah, so that can certainly be a difference maker. We'll see who might potentially be playing for streaks in this one. But, yeah, that's going to be kind of what I watch for, because most of the caps we've seen in Black Ops 3 has either come down to a big specialist play or a big use of streaks a lot of times.
And first cap in CTF is huge. You're able to get that first score on the board. Don't want to say turtle your base, but you're able to have the other team get a little bit antsy, go on the overextension, take some advantage of that. And CTF, competitive Black Ops 3, going to be an unlimited score limit, 5-minute time limit. We're obviously going to have two halves. Going to be 10 minutes for the total game. Team's going to switch sides at halftime. And a little bit of a longer spawn delay, 7.5 seconds. So those deaths really going to hurt you.
Yeah, they kind of ramp up. Your life's the most important probably in S&D, the least important in Hardpoint because it's instant. Uplink 5, 7.5 here for CTF. It's just you want to stay alive. You get 3 or 4 down in this, you can end up just getting absolutely spawn punished in this one. Now let's see. I'm just watching Legal for a second. He's going to be pushing through Palace, but he's not really going to have any pressure thus far. But who is watching from top middle? I think it's Methods just sitting the opposite side of this mid box, watching for anyone pushing through Palace. And he's been really loving the Man of War. Almost gets gunned there by Lacefield, but able to pick up one before he's going to fall. One down for either side. And right now it's just kind of feeling each other out across kind of that 50-yard line of the map.
And it's interesting. You're going to see CLG rocking 2 Man of Wars. So it's fully auto. AR, this is really powerful. The Man of War, you can do some serious damage. I think you got to throw grip on it. This is an AR that needs grip. I don't think you need grip on an M8. You see the push starting to come in on the H2K base. Lacefield and Legal both picking up kills each. Complex still in there for CLG. He's going to drop, but you even see Maven, the little slower methodical play in CTF. The Man of War, not a bad pick. You know, these close quarter engagements with a fully automatic rifle, able to win with those a little bit more than you would with an M8. And you see right there what the Man of War can do. Fears just gets absolutely melted there by Methods.
No, nice shot by Methods.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I agree with you because do I prefer something like the M8? Absolutely, but when you have kind of these close to mid-range gunfights, it helps to have something that you can have at least some degree of automatic fire on. Now let's take a look. It was a nice effort in push by CLG early. They were the first one to really get aggressive with that three-man push, but they got shut down pretty effectively. Felony destroys one, but he's going to end up actually falling off there. Didn't have enough juice to get across that wall run.
FaZe doesn't kill him, but kills him.
Yeah. Assisted suicide basically is what's going to be coming up here for the first one. Now it's going to be another push coming in from CLG. If you take a look at the map, it's basically been all aggression for CLG here early on.
I like how CLG's playing right now, Maven. You know, H2K rotating back their base, winning some gunfights, but eventually these are going to go in favor of CLG at some point. And you
One player to beat there.
Yeah, you just can't keep fighting out of your own base. If you are H2K, you just keep rotating back. You're giving up so much map to CLG right now. You had one player for H2K go on the overextension, really count on him to make a play.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like for the most part here, it's been entirely them turtling in the back trying to deal with the pressure.
If H2K picks up some kills in their base, this could potentially be a counter camp. And you see the guys from CLG, they are so spread out. Nobody in position. Lacefield trying to pop that vision pulse, win a gunfight mid-map. Relays that information to Legal with the flag.
He's got no idea where to go now.
No, because he's just waiting for teammates to pick up kills, but everyone just playing so slow right now. This is really odd. Usually you see a stalemate like this when both teams have the flag. That was quite odd, because Legal had the flag just in the CLG base, and they're like, great, just stay there. Like, we're just gonna kind of hang out in the mid-map, really not push anything. And H2K didn't win any gunfights, and now it's resulted in Methods running down the left-hand side of the map. You can see on the minimap there's one player for H2K in the base of CLG. It's going to be Lacefield, going to be able to get a flagpole, but everybody for CLG winning their gunfights. Going to have Lacefield somehow get away down towards this palisade. He has one player right next to him. Now that player's going to get cut down mid-map. That was BL Fire.
Yep, now we're going to have a bit of a standoff here, Matt. We're going to see who's going to be able to get the first break here. And this, we'll see how long this can last. It's really going to depend on who decides to get a little gutsy and get forward. FaZe's going to get the first pick. So for me, that means you guys got to start to get forward, but FaZe's going to drop pretty much immediately. Who was his teammate mid-map? He's going to drop as well. That was actually Legal. So now the roles have reversed. It's probably going to be CLG that starts to push forward to some degree. They have two playing back on defense. They've called out an HC car as well. Complex is on the top part of the map here, but you can see where they're holding.
Well, usually what you see here is just one player getting really sneaky. The guys protecting the flag get a little bit lazy, and they're able to just sneak in, make a play. Complex kind of that man in position for CLG to make something happen. FaZe going to win that gunfight on BL Fire. That's a pretty easy gunfight. BL Fire's not going to win that many times. He's the person peeking out, and behind that, you know, AC vent was FaZe not going to win that off.
But it's Legal. He's able to kill the flag carrier. Somebody picks up, kills another, but he's getting hit from behind, so not going to be able to work on the return.
If he knew there was nobody else there guarding it, yeah, he would have been able to get a return.
And BL Fire should be able to grab the flag. He will have it in his hand. Teammate's going to be spawning on him now, so everything going to remain the same. We got 35 seconds left here. Teams feeling each other out.
CLG getting pretty aggressive.
And yeah, who do we have at the bottom? That's going to be Methods trying to push forward. He's got a couple here. He used his vision pulse. They're going to know right where he's coming from. He's been shooting as well. The flag carrier is going to be flying back right towards him. He saw him for a second, just going to tease.
Yeah, and they have this flag carrier on the run right now, CLG. And Method's able to pick up one. Now the flag carrier still has to just make any kind of move down that left-hand side, and that is a scary position to be in. And look at this, Legal on the hunt as well.
This is the definition of on the hunt. He's like, where is this flag carrier? I'm trying to catch him. He sees him. He's trying to get forward. You don't want to need to use the scythe. No time on the clock right now. And that's just going to end basically in a stalemate. Both teams having, that was over the, what, 90 seconds, 2 minutes
that's
of them.
A very long stalemate.
Yeah, very, very long stalemate is correct. And that's one of the things that, you know, unfortunately can happen with CTF. You get in that position where
the flags from both teams like almost entered towards the middle of the map there at the end.
Oh yeah, if that play would have been happening with about 30 seconds left, that would have been a crazy final 30 seconds. Just not enough time really to see how that ended, because it went from what, everyone holding it kind of in the back of their base to just everything about to converge there across that mid-map line.
I think this is going to be a 1-0 game.
Oh,
I can't
you think
see,
so? You feel that way?
Yeah, I can't see anything more than that happening. I mean, we still do not have somebody with 10 kills here in the lobby.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
unreal.
This
After
is
5
slow.
minutes of play, we don't have somebody with 10 kills. Unreal.
That's definitely one of the slower halves of CTF, but let's see if things kick into gear. The one thing is, once usually you get your first score, things will typically speed up a little bit, just because there's a team that has to get a little more aggressive, try to get some points on the board. When you're sitting at a tie like this, you can play it a little bit more passively, play for streaks, feel the other team out.
Well, that's the thing with CTF, right? You want to play aggressive, you can't turtle your base. But the thing is, you play aggressive, the other team puts 3 on their flag, they sneak 1 on the OE. That player wins 1 gunfight in your base, and you know, if you don't pull that flag out, do something incredible at theirs, that's an easy cap.
Well, Legal's got to rotate back to defense here, give his team a solid spawn, because the pressure's coming. He knew he had 3 down, and he's going to get gunned down pretty much immediately. Now, this is CLG flying forward. I think they have a Psychosis out right now. Heat Wave is going to be up as well. Let's see if he decides to pop this. He can Heat Wave him and push through very easily. He wants to save it for now. He's got a couple trophies to go with it. But so far, doing a good job holding is H2K.
Both teams just playing this really slow. I mean, nothing really going on. You see, Legal is going to wrap all the way. He's going to pick up the flag. Going to turn, try and see if a player's
look across mid-map. Mid-map is entirely red.
This is the same thing that happened last time H2K got the flag. CLG just had mid-map control. And actually, one player from H2K picks up a kill on that far left-hand side. Legal going to challenge, win a gunfight mid-map. Going to get in a Palace. You see 3 kills go in favor of H2K. This is a cap.
Absolutely a cap. Now that's the difference. This time his teammates were there to pick up the big kills at home, get the defensive plays they needed, and now that's going to provide him. He's got the
doubles
HP
up
card,
on an
he's got the
HC.
scythe.
See, if he can get full streaks, this would be huge. If you're his teammates, you try and bait for Legal, and as I say, that Felony picks him up. Fierce gets dropped as well. 3 kills for Felony in the kill feed, trying to
make
make
a
play.
cap counter pretty much immediately. It's got potential for it. They can hit this bottom palace side. They're
spawning
top, and they're in like a triangle right now of CLG
Look
players.
at this, one player actually spawns in Palace as well.
That spawn has got to drive him nuts. They thought they had a cap for sure, and now the return comes in, and that's what? Is that FaZe that got the spawn?
Yeah, I believe so. He actually spawns in Palace
as
right
the
where
rotate
Felony was running the flag.
Problem
That's
with
a tough one. Yeah.
You had someone, as I blow this up, the problem was they had 2 players kind of push through middle, and they were rotating the bottom to take that flag run. 1 player pushed towards the top, so they forced that spawn there. I mean, that was their own fault, in my opinion, from CLG. They had 1 player sort of pushing the top side of their base. Where is he going to spawn?
That would have been a cap.
He could have spawned.
They play that right. That's a cap.
He either
100%.
spawned to the second hard point, or he was spawning in Palace. That's really the only 2 places he was going to end up popping.
Oh, unreal for CLG. If you're a CLG fan out there, that's a tough one to watch. Note just a little miscue right there, but just like
spawn
we said,
control is
just like we said in
huge.
the uplink, it's those minor errors that really kind of holds this team back.
Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch that one, but I'm pretty sure that player that stayed around the base was kind of playing that top side, and that's the reason they're going to get that spawn. So, I mean, FaZe, you got blessed a little bit there, but you made the most of it, picked up 2 kills, and got the return.
So the way I see H2K losing this, if they do, is if they turtle their base a little bit too much. If they sit in their spawn play way too defensive, I can see CLG picking up some kills, taking advantage of it. Fierce has that Annihilator, gonna save it. Unless things get scary, you're gonna see Felony picking up another one. He's been a man on a mission the last minute or so. He had that 3-piece, open it up, trying to get that pull out. Woo! He gets taken out now, using that HCXD. He's just jumping around everywhere. He's
okay.
What's
All
he
right.
trying to do?
Is this Frogger?
Yeah.
Able to get in, pick up 1 inside the lap. He's going to drop as well. That's 3 down for CLG right now. Now, do you just try to, I guess you can just kind of try and play like a mid-map defense right now. I take it back because you're running into the scythe right now.
BL is the only one up here in the mid-map. You would have liked to see him wait for his teammates to use the scythe. Picks up 2, but there's nobody in position to make a play right now. You have 1 player pushing the base on that far left-hand side. Going to be methods of CLG. Now the player's starting to get pushed up. You see
this is perfect.
a lot of
but he's got Annihilator,
being used, and it's Fierce with the Annihilator picking up 1. Now it's going to be Felony running the flag down that right-hand side towards the B-bomb site. He is home free, Maven, but look at this. Nobody watching the overextension for CLG. It's going to be Lacefield able to get away with the flag.
Lacefield gets it out. All they have to do is stay alive and keep this. There's 1 player to his right. He has a little bit of help. Can he win the gunfight? No, it's BLFire still has the scythe out, but he gets it. That's a massive kill. He's got Legal to help him now, and all they have to do is hold on to this flag, hold it to time limit, keep this a stalemate, and you're going to push this to a game 5.
Well,
they've got Palace control.
They know that their base is open. They know CLG has gone over on the overextension towards the H2K base, so he's just going to hold this inside Palace.
I don't think there's enough time to do anything, really.
I like the play right there by Lacefield. He keeps going towards their base. CLG is in position, make a play, and oh my God,
he catches
Complex. Oh, takes him out, but I don't think able to get the return.
Oh my God, that would have been so close if they were able to slide in there. I was getting nervous.
We were like, oh, great play by Lacefield. Gets into Palace those last seconds. Like, where are you going?
I thought with those 10 seconds, but he would have had to get the return. I was looking at the minimap for the actual flag carrier for CLG.
Yeah.
He was in their spawn, but he would have had to get there with it. He would have had to been basically standing on top of it. Because if he got that return, it would have been at, what, 0.5 seconds? Then he would have had to be on top of it, got the cap, push that to OT. But as it is, H2K
Game 5
pushes it to a Game 5. We started yesterday with a Game 5. It went to around 11. Hopefully we can have more of the same today. It'd be great to kick it off with just a wonderful series. So far, this one has been amazing. That was a little bit, I mean, CLG really could have closed that one out, in my opinion.
It's minor mistakes.
They could have had
same thing that happened on the
cap.
uplink. I mean, they could. This one should have ended on the uplink when they had their drone.
Yep.
Had a man to go. They had it in small room. They had all the players spawning up on Barnes side. Could have brought back their base. Ended it there. You see those minor mistakes definitely come out of the fact that they don't want to see this Game 5 versus
Well, you had what? It was the I don't know which player it was, but you had you force FaZe to spawn basically in Palace, which ends up screwing up that score. And then when you get the flag pull in the final 60 seconds to potentially win it, you had nobody watching the overextension at all. So Lacefield's able to go get the flag, get out uncontested. I mean, BLFire almost goes nuts with the scythe. If he gets both those kills there and gets the return,
that'd have been real
icing on the cake, closes it out, but not able to get it done. And let's just see. I mean, it's so funny looking at these stats versus like an uplink. The highest kills in the lobby right now, 16. 16 for FaZe.
16, yeah. Okay, yeah, I couldn't see it. My contacts are really bad today.
It's all right. Hey, we'll get you some. Can we get Matt some eye drops?
Can we get me some LASIK, man?
Yeah.
It's time to get rid of these contacts and glasses, man. I need some LASIK. But FaZe 16 and 14. Leads the lobby in kills with 16. Not a crazy number by any stretch of the imagination. We can take a look at some clips here.
Now let's see if we see if potentially that one flagpole is in here. I don't know if it's not necessarily a quote-unquote highlight exactly, but I want to keep an eye out for it. Maybe we can see that player if he was pushing towards the top. But this is the early action, still 0-0. Obviously going to the first half, it was just really trying to control time mid, trying to potentially get a flagpole. And now this is going to be once things start to heat up a little bit. As you saw BLFire pulling out this scythe, and I can't believe he still had this.
With like what,
all the way,
30
because this
seconds?
is we're at a minute 04 now. When does Lacefield end up pulling the flag? I mean, it's in the next.
Well, they end up pulling the flag within the next 10, 15 seconds here. Well,
and he still had some juice in the cannon.
Methods pop a
and you see the Annihilator. I saw that pistol. I was like, that's going to be scary right when he flies
around. But even here, he still has the sight. So we're 30 seconds left.
That's
still
good, 30, 40 seconds. So. But he didn't have anything to shoot at. I mean, he was basically just holding it. You know how long the Annihilator at the scythe lasts if you're not actually using it. They drain real slow.
Just doesn't have enough bullets to kill. If he has the scythe, then he's flying through the air. Does he kill Lacefield right there?
I mean, you know as well as I do, if you get that thing revved up, pretty much the second it fires, it's a kill for the most part. Once those bullets start ripping and reeling, it could be a very, very fast kill. But it's all going to come down to the Game 5. Talking maps right now, it's going to be
Redwood.
Redwood. So it's going to be our first Redwood here of the Call of Duty World League. I love Redwood too.
When we first saw it, I believe it was Gamescom, correct?
Yep. That's when they released that and Firebreak, or the information on those for sure.
Yeah, or it was either Paris.
Yeah,
I get all those shows mixed up. We did like
one of the we were all over the place for a couple months there. But this one, I'm excited for because this is probably one of the maps I feel like I've kind of watched. Are we both in caster mode? I should probably make sure. Can't see. I've got to.
Yeah, we got to make sure we're casting this one.
I don't know that I'm able to switch right now. Well, I'll keep an eye on that.
Yep, keep an eye on it. But when we first saw this map, it's beautiful. Just even look at it.
Oh yeah,
and I thought this was
I'm a big fan of trees.
S&D, yeah, save the trees, right?
And this is a map. You know, I've watched a good bit of S&D, and one especially where Afterburner plays a big role in this. Oh, they're doing it for us manually. Thank you guys. All right, so
what wonderful people.
Yeah, if you're wanting to hit B or something, you're going across that bridge right out left. I mean, if you chain a couple together, hit that G slide,
you can get
basically
that rock
land on the rocket waterfall, wrap, jump on the building, and you're basically down looking on B. There's a lot of times there's a player that kind of plays behind B bomb or lays behind that tree there. You can just catch them with their pants down, really just flying it so quickly if you can chain those together.
I think we see Afterburner go because of that particular reason.
It changes the timings entirely.
Yeah, I don't think it makes it into this one, especially because it hasn't been in the last few.
For the most part, this is pretty B dominant. You see teams kind of work B. A is more kind of that.
A is hard to push because you have that player usually sitting all the way at that back tree area.
Or head glitching the bomb.
Or head glitching wall run.
Yeah.
You know, you're able to sit behind that box, get some cover, whether it's sniper or an M8. You have such a great line of sight.
Yeah, so we'll see how this one plays out. Excited for our first Game 5, at least of the day. Hopefully we have many more to come. Again, you know, we had on Twitter earlier, hashtag CWL PS4. Who are you picking for this one?
We both had H2K.
The chances
it didn't look good.
The chances from the beginning look exactly the same as they do now. We're all tied up, 2-2, going into Game 5. And I don't know.
So after the way the first
H2K.
S&D went in CLG's favor, do you think H2K?
I'm taking H2K.
I mean,
I'm sticking with it. My boy FaZe's going to have some big plays. He struggled with 3 and 9.
How many kills he's going to finish with?
He's going to have 12.
You just threw out a random number.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Matt.
Yeah,
that was the first number I thought of. If it was 27, I would have said 27, even though it's not really possible. 12, I have no idea.
Does it hold any significance in your life at all?
Baker's dozen, like 12, a dozen donuts. Yeah. I actually ate a dozen wings earlier. I ate lunch, came in, I saw there were all those wings back there. Next thing I know, there's just a plate of bones in front of me.
Yeah, we're waiting to do rehearsals, and he was trying to wash the buffalo wing.
They were delicious.
Smell off of your hands. It was really bothering you.
Sauce everywhere.
That's why I hate when they have a lot of sauce on them, because they get all of your hands. You can't do anything.
Give me a fork.
I'm a fan of the boneless.
You know, I got
boneless wings are the way to go, guys.
They are. I got the nutrients, energy. Now we're ready for an epic Game 5. We're ready to kick it into Redwood S&D. Ban Protect coming up in just a couple of seconds here. And yeah, that's the things I kind of want to look out for. You know, Shiva's been one of big contention. That's been kind of a difference maker in this one, whether it's been banned or used successfully by H2K. Afterburner, I certainly want to see if they're going to allow that one to get through, because that's been targeted pretty heavily pretty much every match. Outside of that, I mean, what do you think could really potentially be a difference maker here in this one?
I think in this one, I think we see the Shiva go. I want to see if they go after the Thermal again. I believe Thermals went out in the last S&D on Stronghold, because you saw FaZe sniping with that normal scope on the SVG. Does Thermal go again? This is a map that you can use the Thermal over by the A-bomb site.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, even if you're looking from bunker to window, I think that's another spot you can see the Thermal site come into play.
Certainly.
I think that's one you probably see some action with in the ban and protect phase. And then Overdrive, if Afterburner's gone, I definitely think you see it gone. Or do we see a protect of it?
Well, see, I've played and watched so much with Afterburner, because I know one of the big spots, I mean, mid control is huge pretty much on every single map, but if you can kind of get that player on defense right underneath bunker, you can get there so much faster than the other team. And really, it almost makes an offensive player kind of have to play around bunker in almost a defensive manner sometimes, because you're worried if you're going to A, you're worried about a flank. If you're going across bridge towards B, you're worried about a flank.
A lot of good opportunities to flank on this map.
Without hitting those G-slides and getting there so quickly underneath, I can't even think what the timing is. If you just sprint along like normal without Afterburner, if you can beat them underneath bunker, I think you probably still can, but we'll have to wait and see.
Be very close.
I would think, yeah.
But you catch a guy in bunker off guard one time, that changes the way they play the rest of the match. And then
certainly does.
Obviously, a lot of pressure on the offensive side, going to be going over towards the B-bomb site. On the defensive end, do we see players stack over at B? Do we see flanks through A? There's that wall run underneath the tree line over at A.
Well, most
see
of
if
the
that
time
one gets pushed into use.
And there's a Shiva protected. Last time it was protected,
they beat Complex too, man.
Led to a W for H2K. Now, when we look at this, usually on defense you're going to be set up typically 3 around B, kind of 1 on A. 1 on A is either playing with an AR, playing with a sniper, just trying to hold out. If they see him coming, stay alive as long as they can until a rotation comes. Be curious to see who that player is going to be trying to defend that site by himself, potentially.
Well, the Shiva is a great rifle on defense to defend A.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, talk about those long lines of sight.
L-trigger there, hold it.
You sit behind the A-bomb.
And there goes
Afterburner.
So those,
I
these
expect
two.
I expect Overdrive to be gone.
Shiva and Afterburner were the things I was most curious to see what happened with them, whether they be banned or protected. I thought maybe someone might try to protect.
Still looking at Thermals, still looking at... Oh,
there goes Thermal.
I mean, as I'm talking about it, there goes the Thermal. So Sniper's going to have to run that regular scope. Do we see Overkill go maybe here at the end?
I wonder if potentially Overdrive goes.
Overdrive and Overkill are pretty powerful in this map. So I think we see some action with at least one of the two here at the end. That would make sense to me, at least.
You would think Overdrive
would be gone.
Would end up going.
After
I wouldn't be surprised if
these teams are going to wait each other out till the end.
Wouldn't be surprised if they were the final 2 here. Ooh, now that, okay, I like that. That certainly mixes things up. And Camo. So you are going to have Overdrive available. You're going to have Overkill available. And I mean, the big thing here now without
somebody
Black,
who has some...
I'm surprised you didn't see like HC
There
card
is somebody has some weird nade spots on this map.
Well, that or just, it's somebody playing, now it's even more important to play for that streak. If you're able to get a dart HC card, HC cards become so much more powerful now.
And now you figure a person on both teams takes Overdrive.
I would think so. With it still in the game, you can get to pretty. I mean, you could get basically inside of bunker when you're playing defense and just wreak havoc on somebody.
You can get up into their window and just really pick that first player off. You know, you force them to rotate out of that.
I love how common heat waves become, because at the qualifier, I still honestly, I'll be frank, I had not really used heat wave yet. The game had barely been out. I haven't really messed with it much.
I was going for my hero camos. I was like, this is brutal.
Yeah.
I was like, how are people using this? But
and then you realize that it has a circumference, like it's the area that it hits is basically the whole map, and you can just crush people.
Overdrive committed.
There's overdrive. Yeah, going to be for BL Fire.
I expect FaZe to go overdrive. I'd be shocked if they don't use it at least once.
Well, camo's out. What else do you have? Maybe glitch. Overdrive would, I think, be the most
Vision
solid
Pulse?
one left. Vision Pulse, potentially. I think it's got to be overdrive, right?
You would think. Taking a lot of time, though.
Well, it's Vision Pulse or overdrive. I think are the two for me. That would make the most sense. Yeah, he's taking his sweet time, and he goes to Vision Pulse. So there won't be an overdrive here on the side. What's the,
interesting?
They have what? Psychosis instead. So Psychosis can be nice if you get, especially around the B bomb. If you're on defense or offense, really, if you get offensive control, you kind of shoot those inside. Just let them kind of wreak havoc, see where people are with the pings on the minimap when the shots come in. Same thing goes really when you're talking about the defensive side of things as well.
I think HGK. I think HGK is going to regret it. I think they're going to wish
not
they
having
had
overdrive. Yeah, I think so too. But
BL Fire is like an odd player to have it though for CLG.
Not the fastest player in the game.
No, not the fastest player in the game. Maybe like Methods or Felony, the overdrive. But I thought there at the end, FaZe's like a perfect overdrive type of player. You know, somebody who's going to try and get into these weird, quirky positions, try and make a big play on a flank, or hit something right off the bat. I feel like overdrive would have been a perfect play.
Well, they are editing their classes now, getting set up.
Give me a score. Round 11?
Round 11. 6-5, H2K. FaZe, 12 kills.
FaZe, 12 kills.
Sticking with my 12 kills. Now, this, I don't know.
I'd say this is like a 6-4 type of game. It's going to go long.
No, I know. I hope it's a close one, and if we can judge game 2 at all, I think this will be pretty back and forth, because you got a game you don't usually expect out of FaZe. Again, I think 3-9 or whatever it was in game 2.
Right.
I don't think we're going to see him struggle as much in a game 5. I really don't see that happening.
And they have all the momentum. Let's remember, CLG wins map 1 and 2, and then H2K with just some unbelievable plays in CTF and Uplink start to mount this comeback. If you're CLG, I mean, you got to be feeling pretty down about yourselves right now. I mean, you kind of, I don't want to say gave this series away, but you had a very good opportunity.
2 games you should have won.
You had the drone in your hands 60 seconds ago. You're up 2. You are in a perfect prime position to win this series.
They should have.
And now you find yourself in game 5.
Games 3 and 4, they should have won, in my eyes. I mean, they had the favor when it came down the stretch.
They should have at least won. Like game 4, you can debate.
Yeah.
Right. They made some bad situations in game 4. H2K did some nice stuff. Game 3, I think they should have had in the bag without a doubt.
Could not agree more, Matt, but we are getting ready to hop into the action. This one, hoping it comes down to the wire. We'll see who's going to be up on the offensive side of things first, who's going to have that pressure on them to go early. You see, for Redwood, search and destroy. It's going to basically be kind of best of 11, first to 6 here for this. Who's able to take those 6 rounds? Plant timer of 5 seconds. If that plant gets down, if you're on defense trying to defuse, 7.5 seconds will the defuse time. It is going to be HTK kicking things off on offense.
And obviously the team's going to switch at the end of each round, so offense to defense, defense to offense. But we're going to kick things off with H2K on the offensive side of things. Look like this is going to be an A hit off the break, and it's going to be a 2-2 split by the guys of CLG. Starting to see this more often. A guy pushed up to this little perch there. Complex able to get one, spot the other players. Now look at the arrows on your mini-map from CLG, all starting to rotate over towards this A bomb site. Probably 2 over at A, 1 still to watch that middle area. Don't want to get flanked, but
nice grenade from
nade right there by
absolutely perfect. But what did we say? That player's going to play behind the bomb is Felony. He's the one that can really disrupt. He gets 2 as he pushes forward. He's behind the tree now. He's probably going to pick up a 3rd. And there it is from Felony.
Weak. He had to be weak. I'm not going to believe
it was a shot to his hip flexor. Able to pick him off there. Good shots coming in. And he was the one, I believe, that got that first go. He's kind of standing behind the bomb. You could basically just see the tip of his skull there. If you don't line it up, and you don't have high caliber, obviously, if you don't line up but kind of 2 direct bursts with that M8, it is such a tough kill to get. And he has such good vision on everyone.
Yeah. And good fast rotation by CLG, able to stop that push over towards the A bomb site. You saw the nades come into effect a little bit there. We'll see what they decide to do on offense. This would be huge. They win round 2, go up 2-0. Obviously, extremely early in this game, but starting to put a little bit of a pressure, a little stranglehold on the guys of H2. Okay.
And this is where sometimes you see a lot of early engagements. His players trying to push around the rock here on the backside of bridge. They try to get forward. If defensive teams are trying to hold B aggressively, usually you'll deal with some action here, but they're allowing BLFire to get up, get set up. The player in the corner sees him, so now he's going to be able to use this bomber box to a degree, but FaZe comes in with the nade. There's no flak jacket. Actually, you can play a bit more passively now. You don't need to play as aggressive when you have those grenades. They're going to pick up the kills.
Once the teammates call out, that's 2 nade kills by FaZe. Where is he throwing these from? Let's actually jump on with FaZe. See where, so he's basically just chucking these over the building.
Yeah, he doesn't have to play fast. Nope. He doesn't have to play aggressive and deal with a potential difficult gunfight.
Yes, as soon as they gain that information that they're on the B bomb site, they're going towards B, he's able to just throw them right over the lab building.
That's exactly what you saw. I think it was Lacefield playing that corner, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was Lacefield, but they're playing that corner to see. As soon as somebody crosses, all he did was back up, calls for the nade, FaZe tosses it forward, easy kill, able to pick up a second as well. And now it's going to be tied up 1-1.
We talked about how H2K was prepared at the qualifier for the Banner Protect phase. That is a calculated play, getting rid of Flak Jacket. They know FaZe can throw these nades over that building, hit them every time. You're going to see them go to that round after round on defense. Now, does that change things up for CLG the next time we see them on the offensive side of things?
I would think they'd have to play, either hit something fast, hit it hard together, or play exact opposite. Just play for a pick, but you can't get in a position where you can get grenades. Like, you're not going to be able to just go there and stand really on the bomb site like he just did. I think you'll have Felony, I believe, was going to learn his lesson from that one.
Yeah, and you're going to see FaZe and the guys of H2K starting to push over towards the A bomb site. And I like what they're trying to do. They're really just targeting that player on that back tree. BLFire coming on the flank, taking him a very long time to get there. It's a player directly around the corner, though. And it's going to be a big gunfight here. It's going to be actually a 3v1 now as Methods gets taken out cross map. They know exactly where BLFire is. There's no reason to be watching that angle.
Yeah, look at there's one player left.
He is not coming from that way. Do they talk to each other?
I'm not sure. I believe FaZe might have thought there was a second player left.
I respect watching the wall run right there, but I mean, you know this player is...
But that's the reason I switched over to BLFire is that I mentioned that you always want to have a player on offense that's kind of playing around bunker. Because whether you have a player that's going to flank through top middle and come through bunker or wrap around bridge, like I think is what BLFire actually did, it makes it, if you leave that flank open, it's 2 or 3 easy kills sometimes. But he waited in that corner.
So
excellent
let's
kill
stay
to
on with
shut that
FaZe.
down.
Even though we may not see something right off the bat, I want to see where these nades are coming from. So he's going to have this lined up. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I imagine he's not going to be very happy we're giving his secrets away. But
I'm sorry,
this is totally worth it.
Lessons with FaZe.
He's going to be watching the back. He's going to get the call. Let's see. So he lines it up with that, and then he just chucks it right over.
And let's see if this is going to connect with
anything. And then they're throwing stuns
they get
as well.
So. He's able to at least stun a couple up here, but now you can get the spot, see how he's playing this, and he knows there's no flag. The car's coming. They're all running away, and they're able to get out of dodge. Great plays here from the folks of CLG. Methods then waiting on the corner rock. He's able to pick up one. FaZe gets forward, though. He's got to know that she was around the corner. He cannot challenge this with the VMP.
No, he's got to wait for his teammate to get over, and Lacefield, just not enough time here. It looks like he's going to be fighting a gunfight in the back. Would expect CLG to try and pinch him here. They're actually letting him stay alive for a very long time. Complex wins it.
Well, now I'm curious. You asked what would change for CLG with regards to their push. They did about the same thing. 2 players kind of playing around B. Where were they standing that the grenades didn't pick up the kills this time? What was different for them that they weren't being taken out?
They had Methods all the way on that back rock.
Well, they still had 2 players pushed up by the bomb, though.
They may have had double trophy this time. I believe the last time they only had 1. So you saw, I believe it was nades from Lacefield and FaZe go over. The trophies only blocked 2. So I feel like this time they probably had more than 1 trophy sit.
That very well may be exactly what they did. They just decided to combat that with trophies. It's good to see them. They learned their lesson the first round. They decided to go back and hit the same spot. Now, we talked about middle map control and how important that can be when you're playing defense. They have 2 players right now playing up close middle. And this Shiva can be so deadly. I don't know if that's you don't want to push in a bunker necessarily with that. That would be a tough gunfight. And who got aggressive, really? That was BLFire again. Remember, he was the one that pushed the flank the round prior. This time, they waited for it.
He's playing really aggressive with overdrive, but not working out for him right now. BLFire, a player who traditionally has been a little bit slower, takes a little bit more time, a little bit passive of a player. This time getting aggressive here in this Game 5. S&T just not working out early.
Yeah, he's 0-3 right now for him. And, you know, he's had a couple nice attempts at a flank, but just getting caught every single time, not able to put something together. It looks like they're going to be favoring A. So who's going to be the first man on defense here? It looks like it's going to be Complex. And how is he going to play this? He's got
He may catch some perfect timing here.
This could definitely be perfect. There's one. Does he challenge the second? The wall run's going to come in from the right. I don't know if he saw that player jump over the bomb. He's still able to pick up a second. Does he realize a player got by? Was there anyone to pick that up? Yes, his teammate was able to get that. So it's just going to be legal here. Stranded by himself. 15 seconds left. Bomb down on site. Nothing in the world he can do to win this round.
No, perfect timing by Complex. I think he really makes a difference. He hits that wall run, and you can see, nope, via the Arcod, no view in the broadcaster mode.
X-ray vision.
Yeah, the X-ray, that he's able to come around the corner, catch those players sprinting directly down that bridge.
All right. That is going to give them a round advantage here, 3-2. CLG shutting down the A aggression. Now let's take a look here and see what we expect to see. They've been so B dominant.
So let's see how many players running trophies. So you have
we got
3
one trophy.
So 3 running trophies.
3 total trophies on the map. Yeah, that's going to be what the difference is here for the grenades. Now let's see if
eventually
still in the same
guys
spot.
on H2K have to adjust and actually play at the site.
And that, yeah, because you can only play back like this again if you're
if
trying
they don't
to
have
do
trophies.
Usually you play much more aggressive, but they're going to give it up again. Here they come. Now I'm going to check the other point of view now. Let's see from their view.
Yep, those trophies.
And the trophies are
They're
down.
just going to wait them
You'll
out.
take care of it.
Yep.
There they both come in. There's waiting them out really at this point now.
So I believe.
Actually, did they even use? No, they haven't even used their trophies. There's waiting them out this time. There goes the trophies. Now they're getting them in. They've seen the 2 early grenades come in for FaZe.
Well, could Lacefield have seen them go down to bomb, then CLG have gotten off of it right away?
They just peeked it real quick, so he wastes them. I mean, if you didn't toss any of your trophies, you got to think that's the case, right?
Yeah, you got to. And I think you're seeing an HCXD coming in from the side of H2K, trying to get over towards that B bomb site. Don't think anything's going to result in it, but look at this. The guy with the bomb just kind of hanging out all the way out here. Maybe 25 seconds left. Yeah, he has to get
I think he realized it as he's wall rolling. Like, I got to go. Hit the boost there off the ledge, getting forward. He knows he has to plant. There's 2 players getting aggressive. The heat wave comes in. All of a sudden, it's a 2v2. Make it a 2v1. It's going to be Fierce by himself. 10 seconds. The plant should be getting down. Yep, he's going to have plenty of time to get that in. He also is going to have his overdrive, so that's worth noting for next round. And there's Complex on the corner with the mate, able to shut down Fears. 4-2 advantage for CLG. We'll start things off with BL-Fire. Let's see if he's going to use that overdrive.
They got into a really scary position, CLG. I mean, Felony is over just dancing around.
Dancing on the wall run. I think we kind of went to him right as his brain said, oh, God, I have 25 seconds to get this bomb down.
I am the bomb carrier. There's 25 seconds left. I'm nowhere near a bomb
Going
site.
towards A is great, but he didn't have anyone with him. So he couldn't go there and drop bomb, or that round's over if he dies.
Everybody was up in the game. There was nothing he could do, really. Does BL-Fire use this?
No,
or he's?
No, I would hope not. That would be the ugliest use of overdrive I've ever seen.
Yeah, that would not be. Does he use his HC this time? Put them up 5-2. He could use the HC and just sit on
one of his teammates
behind the B bomb site.
No, actually, I think they shut down one from Methods potentially. They shut down. I saw on the minimap an HC did come out. Does anyone else have anything? So it's Heat Wave here for Complex. That could potentially be a difference maker. You just saw kind of a nice use of it. Really
see how scared the guys of CLG are from those nades. You see trophy systems all over the map. Pretty much everyone on CLG running trophy, and you see the A stack coming in from H2K. They're going to try and make a play for this player to the left of Complex on that back tree. You can see, I believe that's a Methods.
They felt it out and said, nope, don't feel like dealing with this. And now you're going to see the rotation coming across as 2 players are going to refocus on the B site, and out comes the car. Let's see if I can hop on with that player. I think it's BL-Fire.
Yep, just sit here with it. I mean, it's a perfect play. 25 seconds left. They have to push down to this. They see it taken out, but now you gain all the information. You know they're headed over towards B.
And they've got, 2 players in defense. One's probably going to end up flanking around. They catch the bomb carrier. That was the big thing. He's got to get it down. Doesn't have much time to work with. Is anyone able to catch him right now? It's going to be 3 versus 2, but they have to get it down. Bomb is going to be planted just in the nick of time. 40 seconds here. Can CLG work to defuse his Complex by himself, and he's going to get shut down. That got scary for just a second. That player decided to fly out and pick up the bomb carrier. There was just no one else there to get the second guy. I don't think he realized there were 2.
The BL-Fire had another player following him up, and they win that gunfight at that top rock. That's a round win for CLG. That other player can just hide out because he would have killed the bomb planner as well. I believe Legal jumps on it right after their original bomb planner taken out. But it's going to be H2K still staying alive here. Maven Does Overdrive come in on this one on defense? Let's see.
Let's check it out.
Offense, sorry.
Going to BL Fire right now. We'll see if he opts to use it. At this point, nope. Not going to be trying to get too fancy with it. Let's see what they decide to push. Oh, look at this flood up middle. They're just all hitting up mid together right now. The entire team is set up, but both of them get picked off by the M8 of Felony. Let's go to him as he had a 3K in a round earlier. Let's see if he can continue this one going as he's working towards an ace right now. And unfortunately, you tried to do a four rush towards mid to a player that was just primed and ready for it. I mean, they haven't really been playing too often a bunker playing that slow. They've been working towards A, flying towards B.
Sitting up there with an M8, that's a perfect position to start taking players out. Fear is going to win a gunfight, though, on BL Fire on the B-bomb. So him and FaZe trying to work this play together. You have one on the bottom, one watching up top.
No, don't peek this.
FaZe cannot peek that. Fears wins 2 big gunfights, and now you expect... I think FaZe probably going to have to play.
That's the big thing. Does he check the flank? He does. He gets vision on him, and the hip fire comes in. All of a sudden, it's going to be Felony by himself with bummed out. He was the one that's able to pick up 2. He's going to need days. He has to check window, though. Can he win that one? Oh, he gets it, but the second player challenges at the perfect time, and he's got 15 seconds left for the defuse.
Big play right there. He uses his kinetic armor as well. He's able to win that first gunfight against Fears, but FaZe going big there. Now gets the HC. It's a huge win right there by FaZe.
That's one of those times where you just want a player that's, calm, cool, collected, knows the right play. Because, maybe he decides to stick bomb here and stay on it, but he knows, nope, I get the call, he's top middle, I need to go help out my teammate, he's got kinetic armor, may not win the gunfight, and he is there for the easy cleanup. And he's a player, even if he would have been on bomb, you got to trust that he would have made the heads up play to go help mid. Now, 4-4. First series of the night, Game 5. This one has been so back and forth. Now, does BL Fire still up? There it is.
Here it is.
Opts to use it. Now, does he go right into bunker is the question. He's got to, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's going to be able to gain a ton of information here, Maven. As soon as he realizes nobody's over here. If he goes that other way, he could have come behind all 4 players.
Come on, no, you're going the wrong way, buddy.
Man,
you're going the wrong way. BL
dude.
Fire, I'll give you a nickel to go to the right. And now, but see, at this point, the problem is so much time's gone by that you have him wrapping back. So now BL Fire might actually get caught out. And he does.
That is unfortunate right there.
And that's just guessing. He's not sure if they're going towards B. He's not sure how they're exactly playing it. Thinks they might go A. If he would have hit that B flank on bridge, he would have had at least a kill or 2.
4 players lined up on bridge. He would have killed at least what?
What, the
2?
The 4 kill collateral with the VMP?
No, I don't think we would have seen that, but it would have been something close to it. Fears, though, picks up another one. Doing a nice job using this cover in water. I love this spot, actually. You're able to just kind of pop your head out, sit behind these logs, take people out easy. He has Psychosis again. Woo. Him and FaZe doing a nice job putting H2K 1 round away from making the comeback here against CLG. Oh my God,
and remember, if you're tuning in late, a reminder, it was 2-0. 2-0 CLG. This is the reverse sweep we have on our hands here, potentially for H2K.
I like that, the reverse sweep.
The reverse sweep. Can they do it? 1 round away right now. This is unbelievable.
So what do we have at the hands of CLG? You have nothing in abilities and you have Vision Pulse.
That's it. 1 Vision Pulse
and
from methods and
I
Heat Wave.
think the guys over on H2K are pretty stacked.
He's pretty vulnerable.
You got a Vision Pulse and an HC. You got a Vision Pulse and HC on FaZe. You got a Psychosis on Fears, and Lacefield very close to a Heat Wave as well.
And they know they've been leaving this wide open. Just go get the bomb down. Yeah, they've been tossing these in. You have the trophy. Somebody else needs to toss in one as well. And that's going to be an easy plant. Now, can he get back? Someone needs to set up a rock. Someone needs to watch the flank, which they have 2 players. Well, 1 player really watching the flank. That'll be Complex. And they have Felony that's going to be set up. And look at that. Methods knows where every single player is. He knows they're all inside. I don't even know why Complex is still watching the flank. He got all 4 players tagged, did he not? Well, maybe that didn't hit him.
Well, you see the Psychosis actually following up the drone use.
Oh, I thought he used it. I'm sorry. I thought he used his Vision Pulse. That's what I was saying.
No, and it was FaZe picking up 2 with the HC right there.
Oh, my God. And that's going to close it out is going to be the HC. Wow. And Complex again. So, I thought he hit his Vision Pulse. That's what I was like, he's got eyes on everybody. I was like, why isn't Complex turning?
CLG is like, dude, man, we could not have played that any worse. But so what happened there is FaZe is sitting in the bottom lab area. He uses his Vision Pulse, tags the guys up on CLG.
See, I heard the Vision Pulse. That's what I thought it was.
So what happens is that player's playing on that rock, watching that B-bomb site. He gets tagged by Vision Pulse. He backs off of that. Then you see the Psychosis come in from Fierce.
And then the car
they start to go everywhere. And the car kind of follows the clones, and the 1 player gets on bomb. So now they know that there's nobody looking at bomb. They have that car there in a perfect position to stop that player to get in position to look at it again. FaZe picks up 2 with it. I believe there's still 2 players alive for CLG at the time. Well, and the bomb gets defused. Just unbelievable
that's
team
one of the
play
things
right there.
with the HQ car. You talk about it's pretty easy to I guess, kill.
The
It takes a couple shots.
The flak jacket ban, huge.
But when you have those drones kind of leading the way and you're able to kind of bob and weave that car in between, leads to a two-piece. What did I say? I said, how many kills did FaZe get? I got to check.
He had 12?
If he had 12. He did play much better, though. I mean, he had those big plays with the nades where he shut down a round. No, he had 9. 9 and 5. But that's much better than the 3 and 9
much
game
closer
2.
to 12 than 3 was.
You expect him to have a much better game in game 5. Woo, that was a treat for the early game.
Yeah, that was a great first match we had here. I believe next it's going to be Optic Gaming versus Elevate. Should be a fantastic
let me take
game
a
as
look.
well.
Yes, that is going to be our next one. I have my trusty pen and pad here as I'm making notes.
Yeah, we can take a look at some of these highlights, though, from this Search and Destroy. CLG, they had this series. And, credit to H2K. A lot of teams, down 2-0, probably would have been heavily affected by that. They took advantage of the CLG mistakes once you saw them come in Game 3 and Game 4, even Game 5. I mean, this round right here, BL Fire, if he hits that flank earlier, he's
tough.
able to pick up those kills.
You can't really, it's not that he made a wrong play, though. Like, he gets in there, he gets in the base, and he just didn't know what side to really go. And right as you see him try to car, look at this, this is a headshot basically with the car just flying in.
Well, usually you expect the player with Psychosis to follow up those clones.
Not a race car.
He dipped down back into the water, got up, probably thought he was going to have a player challenging him. There's a car right in his mouth.
Unbelievable. And that's, we talked about the ability of this H2K team to affect the game really in the Bamber tactics.
They did a great job.
You saw them. They had the Shiva, which ended up helping them out greatly. They banned Flak Jacket, which obviously in the final round. Well, you have 2 rounds that came down to that entirely. You win it with the car in the final round.
And then the nades,
their
the
first defensive round you get. So that's 2 out of your 6 round wins really came down to the fact there was no Flak Jacket. But CLG, I thought, did a really good job countering that the first time when they got the trophies. They were able to take
they stacked up on trophies, but
came up a little bit short.
Well, miscues, man.
Woo, first match is in the books.
Here.
The reverse sweep for H2K is they're going to start 2-0 on the league. We've got a quick 5-minute break. We'll be right back with more CWL action. All right, welcome back. Game 1 was absolutely unreal. Back and forth battle, the reverse sweep for H2K, able to come back and take that one.
and H2 come back.
Woo! That one was good. Fun one to watch for sure. But up next, it's
not
going to
be a CLG fan. It's actually pretty unfortunate.
If you're a CLG fan, we apologize.
Sorry, guys.
Condolences.
Yeah.
But next game is going to be Optic Gaming going up against Elevate for this one. Can't wait to see these team do battles. I know we unfortunately had a forfeit yesterday for Elevate. They're back in action, ready to match up here against Optic. And you really saw Facinto going off in game number 1. But I do want to touch on Optic Gaming first. They had a very good series for them yesterday over CLG. These guys are playing out of their minds.
4 of the most talented players in Call of Duty overall, over multiple titles. I think this is just a phenomenal team, top to bottom. Formal, I don't know if that man sleeps. I mean, he is on stream grind all the time, playing tons of Call of Duty, just 8s. I mean, S&D tournaments, everything. Scump, Crim, Karma, fantastic players in their own right. Scump, the captain of Optic Gaming, going to be very talented with the SMG in his hand. Had an off day yesterday. No, obviously in a tough position, but playing that SMG role, I think he's going to be fine, though. He's a fantastic player.
Well, that's what's interesting, though. Scump, I think, is the best sub player of all time. When you talk about what he can do from a slang perspective, absolute monster. This game, though, a little bit more difficult. He's got to rely a lot on his teammates to open up lanes for him, as it is very AR heavy. But then when we talk about the other side of things, Elevate. They looked really strong yesterday, had some issues, I know, but this is the big thing I want to touch on here for these guys. You know, we got to talk about the rest of the team a little bit yesterday. I want to highlight Remy, and the reason I want to talk about Remy is because
he's not here.
They're actually missing him here early in the league. He's going to be missing the first couple of matches, or they had apathy filling in for him last night. Tell me why they need to get him back as soon as possible. What a big part of this team he is.
Oh, he's their guy who's going to be in the hill making those smart play calls for this team. You know, when you talk about Elevate, fantastic in uplink. Remy, a real big reason why, you know, coordinating all those pushes, all those cross lane throws they got. They're one of the best teams at passing the drone across the map. Remy, a big absent player for the guys on Elevate. Apathy, very talented player in his own right. Definitely able to fill in that role. He can do anything. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but Remy, really the shot caller for this team.
Well, let's take a look here. It's going to be MR6 there coming from Formal.
He saw Nogafin with it yesterday.
Oh, no. He was actually the one that I watched. There was an odd shot from his stream where he saw, I think it was JCap's stream, but he was playing with
I have to take a look at it.
Formal was like, I'm getting frustrated. It's not cool. Why is he using this? And then he absolutely crushes him. Go on COD Competitive. Look for the MR6 play. I think it's called like JCap Mind Blown or Nogafin plays out of this world. Something like that. It's absolutely unreal what he can do.
Search all those things on the subreddit. You see the VMP.
It's the first thing banned is a pistol.
So look at these bans right here. We have the Argus gone from Karma. We've seen Elevate do
usually
weird things in respawn with like overkills with Argus.
Usually it's Remy though, right? The guy that we see that use
Remy
and he's
Aqua,
not playing.
Those are the two guys you see. It's going to be rapid fire getting out of the game at the hands of Apathy. We see the L Cargo as well. So a heavy influence on the pistols from Optic Gaming, getting rid of them early. Don't want to deal with the MR6. Maybe we see the RK5 go.
I mean, if you're going to get rid of the MR6,
if you're going to get rid of both of those, I mean,
might as well take out the third. But
you don't really mind that one as much. I mean, the MR6 can do a lot of damage at range. No single shot.
If you can hit your shots, it's ridiculous. Like I swear he 3 or 4 bullet him from like across map in this clip. High Caliber's going to go next from Krem. Don't feel like doing that, dealing with that, especially since the Shiva's still on the board. M8's still on the board. You've really got a lot of things here, a lot of tools that you're going to have to deal with from these guys.
Flashbang's still in. Something we saw go often yesterday. They're going to stay in, at least for the first map in this series. And we see the Purifier going to come out from Formal. So we saw a lot of Annihilator play out of him yesterday. Obviously favors those weapons. He's going to be a main Slayer. Going to be using that Purifier, able to get in towards the hills. Interesting, we see Karma always going with that Heat Wave. Nogafin going to be using Heat Wave for Elevate. That's pretty much a standard in every game now. We see at least one Heat Wave on each team.
All right, we'll see as the rest of these picks start to come in here. How are they going to opt to break this one down? Again, this is one of the more sub-heavy maps, so this is one where I expect to see Karma and Scump really able to come up with those big plays, really able to disrupt. And there we do finally see the War Machine. We haven't really seen it used much in competitive play.
We talked about it yesterday. We definitely thought we were going to see a War Machine at one point. We see it today. Aqua going to be bringing it out. Does that force the players on OG to start running flak now?
Well, that's basically a way.
Was that a way to get rid of Afterburner right away?
It's almost the same as banning Afterburner. You think it's going to opt for them maybe to use it, but then again, do you want to run Flak Jacket for that one time, maybe 2 times he's going to have the War Machine?
He uses Overclock,
is it really worth it?
Could get it 3.
That's true. So I don't know. I don't know if it changes things much. I still think you're going to see Afterburner used quite a bit just because this particular map, it's small. You want to get around quickly. You're going to be trying to G-slide basically everywhere you can to get to places as obviously as quickly as possible.
So even from yesterday to today, we're seeing a better diversity between weapons and abilities.
Sure.
So yesterday we saw, maybe 1 weapon, 3 abilities from a lot of these teams. Today, at least in the first series, we saw 2 and 2. Now we're seeing 2 and 2 again. Optic going to have the Purifier in the hands of Formal, the Annihilator in the hands of Crim, and then on the other side, we're going to have War Machine and Purifier as well. I like the War Machine play. You eliminate Afterburner by making them run flak, or at least respect it. You have to at least respect it. I bet you, if they get War Machine once and the guys on OG aren't using flak, and Aqua picks up 1 or 2 kills, you're going to see flak come out.
Probably switch pretty quickly. Yeah, well, I wonder if we're going to see nades run as well, potentially. But we do want to hear from you guys on social media. I want to know what you guys think.
We love Twitter.
Tweet at myself, Maven, at MattMrX on Twitter, and also the COD World League. We want to know who you think has the slaying advantage going into this particular matchup. Is it going to be Optic Gaming? Is it going to be Elevate? My gut tells me, if you talk to us about this, when you think Optic Gaming certainly has a slaying advantage. Maybe if it's the full Elevate roster, do I think they might have maybe a chemistry advantage, maybe a little bit of teamwork when it comes to uplink?
That question you're going to get a lot. You're going to get a lot of Optic Gaming votes. That question.
But slaying.
Yeah, that one.
If you ask that question, I think with Optic against any other team, unfortunately,
you're going to get that same answer. I think.
I think Optic has the advantage.
I mean, they're one of the best. That's kind of how they win. I mean, their teamwork is good, but they're not like
we saw at Hardpoint yesterday.
Unreal.
CLG doing a better job, really rotating on French Hardpoint. It didn't matter at all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a little slow on those rotations yesterday for Optic Gaming. We'll see how they adjust today. But they were able to win a big gunfight in that back area by Grandma's, take that game against CLG.
Yep.
Today, I'm looking for them to play a little bit better on the rotations. This is when they can actually use 3 SMGs. So we saw the Vesper and VMP go. Expect to see some Kuda, maybe some Pharaoh.
True.
A little bit. Because this map's a little bit of a longer... I mean, there's rotating hill to hill, there's long-range engagements. Once you're in the hill, it's all like short range. So I think when you're trying to rotate as an SMG player, it'd be nice to have a Pharaoh shoot a little bit longer range.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple hard points really that you're gonna want to kind of rotate a little earlier. Probably Kitchen would be one, and then I still don't know what I want to call it. The one that's kind of in the back, that top left corner of the map. I just call it the corner hard point. When you get set there, you have player top AC.
A lot of attention to detail there.
Yeah, it's the corner. It's a corner hard point. But no, that's one that you can really lock down, especially with solid AR play.
Right.
But you get a lot of, I think you get more maybe class switching on a map like this because there's such a difference in some of the hard points. Like you have that one in the corners so open. Then you have ones that are completely closed off.
We didn't really talk about it. I think Scythe would have been a good weapon on this map as well.
No, Scythe certainly.
You can get up on top of that AC.
Absolutely.
You can get up on that spot where the uplink drone usually spawns. You're able to take players coming from a distance. But Optic versus Elevate, kicking off Maeve. Let's go on with Vicenta. I mean, this guy in the one map we saw from Elevate yesterday, he was unbelievable. 40+ kills, did everything in the hill. You see the shots through the wall there on Crim early. It's going to be Elevate controlling the hill.
And you'll see there are going to be some tacticals coming out early. We're going to see some flashes being used. I believe he was running a flash as well. And for this, I mean, we saw Vicento. You talk about how this is a more sub-heavy map. You saw him drop, what, 40+ yesterday when it was French Hardpoint with the M8. Now he's decided to opt for the CUDA. I want to see how he uses this early.
You see a Pharaoh out of Karma, and I believe you saw one out of Nagafin there early. See Vicento.
Takes a little dip.
Yeah, not make a great play. So he's going to be running long barrel laser. What is that third attachment he's got on there? I believe it's quick draw. Yep. So interesting setup right here for Karma. I like the Pharaoh personally. I use it a lot when I play online. Just a very good SMG at range. Scump picking up kills in the kill feed on rotation. Karma still working towards more of those streaks. Has one player coming in, contesting this first hardpoint still, just feeding him kills. You can't do that on hardpoint.
You cannot. You'll see he does have Afterburner with the blast suppressor to go with it. We talked about that deadly combo earlier. That grenade going to be perfect, at least at taking out his HC car. But now he's going to come in. Sees the Semtex to his right. Nice shots there. You talked about how confident this gun could be at mid-range. He's able to pick up one, picks up two, has one to his left. So close to doubling up on his streaks, really. But he's going to have the Hellfire, have the Lightning Strike to go with it. Great start here coming out of Karma early on.
And I tell you what, you can make a case right now. He is playing the best on this Optic Gaming team. You watch him in every game mode, SND, Respawn, very talented in CTF. You go all the way back to Black Ops 2. Reason why Impact was so good, great on Respawn game modes, great CTF team. Karma, a big reason why. the beginning of Black Ops 3 here, playing lights out. You see the guys on Optic Gaming rotating early here. It's going to be Formal running a sub. Who's going to be running the AR? Everyone running a sub. So you're going to see no ARs coming out from the side of Optic Gaming, just putting the pressure on Elevate, really trying to force those engagements near the hill.
And we talked earlier about how Remy's missing these first couple of nights. Apathy is trying to be the man to come in and assist here. He's going to get one at least with his grenade, able to pick up one player on rotation. Gets those original points, but gets cleaned up pretty much immediately. Now let's watch Optic Gaming hold. Vicento just dismantles Crim6 in the back spot. You know, you can use that barrel so effectively there and really pick up kills on the left side of the map. But now he's going to push the back. Can he find one there as well? Nope, that's going to be Scump able to win that gunfight. But let's see, let's go to Scump. We haven't really given him much love so far early in the round. And I think I saw Overclock. And, oh, so he is running perk 1 greed. He's going to have both for a second there. Let's take a look. Yeah, so he's going to have Afterburner and Overclock as he's trying to get as many kinetic armors as he can. And
you like that play out of Scump. He's going to be aggressive around the hills. If he gets that kinetic armor more, you're going to see those 2 pieces come in, the 3 pieces we're used to seeing Scump pull off. And he's a player that goes on emotion. I mean, when he picks those kills up, you know, in a row, starts to go on these streaks, he gets fired up, and then you really start to see Scump really come into form.
Well, yeah, this is Scump's map to shine. You know, we keep talking about how this game is, you know, a little more. Those shots there were absolutely filthy.
That's what you can do when this comes down to an SMG game. And there you see the 3 come in, trying to go for a 4, jumping out of the hard point. He is definitely feeling it.
I'm staying with him.
He is so happy that this is a submachine gun map that he can really shine, because yesterday, playing a little bit of a longer range map, definitely had some issues. And you see Formal busting out the M8 for OG. I think he's going to try and be rotating between the different guns on this map. At some of the hills, you can play a little bit closer. You see the flashbang come in.
Welcome to flashbang.
How powerful they are. Surprised we didn't see them go early. As I know, Optic Gaming, that's the one way I feel like you can really throw them off their game. You really make it about the tactical, slow the game down a little bit. I feel like that's how you can take advantage.
Well, we see Nagafen also running the Kuti. He has his HC up, trying to pick up some kills in the hard point here. We have 5 seconds until we're going to be rotating. You see players starting to set up around mid-map. Vicento is going to be one of the first in. He wins a big gunfight, but there's a second there to clean it up. 3 up right now for Optic Gaming. We'll see what they're able to do in the hard point here. Formal dip, diving, sliding, trying to pick up as many as he can. Get shots in 1, kills one of those players, not able to clean up the assist ultimately. And it looks like Karma did use his Hellstorm, which I think I referred to as Hellfire for some reason a little bit ago. But yeah, he still has his Lightning Strike. Hellfire, I've been playing too many RPGs or something.
Yeah, no. I think he saves the Lightning Strike for that corner hill here. You see the Purifier come out.
Speaking of fire.
I love that thing. It just looks so awesome when you just start cooking people inside the hard point. But Vicento only able to get 1 with it. Some big gunfights won by Nagafen and Aqua. Elevate doing such a great job here early, really taking the fights to Optic Gaming. This is something we don't see a lot of teams do. You know, when you go up against guys that have the history that Scump and Formal and Crim have, and Karma as well.
Look at this hole,
you can get a little bit intimidated. You know, you don't want to challenge those gunfights. You know how good these players are. Elevate is not backing down from any gunfight. It's something different. Optic Gaming, how many teams challenge Optic Gaming like this?
I feel like you just have super confident players on this team. Like, just thinking of Vicento's mentality, I just don't think he cares. Like, you get players that get kind of shook like that when you're playing. The greatest players of all time, it just doesn't affect them at all, I don't think.
No, you see Apathy picking up 1 with a nade, 1 with
There was a Purifier there, too, that got shut down.
Yeah, unbelievable. Karma's going to push into the hill. He's going to be the last one up there for OG. The hill going to go back into the hands of Elevate, doing a fantastic job controlling the pace of this game. I think it actually throws OG off a little bit. When they start to get pushed and challenged like that, I mean, how many other teams are going to challenge and push them like this? I don't think there's any.
It's been impressive to watch this far. And, you know, I talked about this map, the fact that it can be a little bit difficult for maybe an AR player to get going because you switch so much. I mean, we've seen Formal switching between Kuda, M8, can't find a way to get comfortable. He's only 14 and 22, not a game you're used to seeing out of him. On the other side, these players have primarily just stuck to the subs. They've been Kuda across the board, and they've been getting it done, winning the key gunfights in and around the hard point.
Formal had that big gunfight against Apathy on rotation. Apathy actually used his kinetic armor during that, so I like that play by Apathy, able to try and give the guys on Elevate a better chance of controlling this spawn. You see the gunfights going in OG's favor, though. 3 dead for Elevate. They're going to start spawning a little bit. Actually, no, they're going to keep controlling that spawn. They actually have one guy staying all the way in the live in the back. Doing a nice job. They're just not able to break it. You see Aqua dies. Now the spawn out going to come for Elevate. You see where they're spawning all the way back at that second hard point. This is going to be a tough one to break for them now.
Well, one of the big things is Optic struggling a bit has just probably been Scump slowing down a little bit. He's on a 4 streak right now, but remember, he started the game, what was it, 15-8? He was even just a couple moments ago, and still he went on a spree here. So his hot start really got slowed down by the side of Elevate. He's got his HC car working towards streaks. He's on a 4 spree right now. I want to see what he's able to do. He knows they're set up already. Can he find one? He has a player in the water. He has a player behind the pillar as well. Now it's HC car time. Can he get across? Nice little boost. Teammate picks up one, though. Now it's time to fly in. He knows they picked up the 1 kill. I thought that was an enemy HC car for a second.
But no 3 kills going in favor of Elevate. They're able to thwart off the push from Optic Gaming yet again. So let's go on with Aqua. I want to see if the War Machine comes into play. Haven't noticed it in the kill feed of you.
This would be a decent hard point to probably do it in. This or the starting hard point, at least as far as, you know, kind of effectively using that War Machine. The Heat Wave comes in, and that just able to demolish. That was Karma, and he's got 2 trophies to go with this. You see the nades coming out. I was going to say, he probably is going to want to get a trophy down. Trying to pick up points of those trophies, get one player coming in. No, just can't find him. Finally able to clean up.
You see how many points he's getting with the trophy? You know, blows up of the tacticals and nades, and then also kills in the hard point. Karma working on streaks yet again, not able to get them though, as Nagafen comes in, picks up a 2-piece. I feel like time and time again, Nagafen and Vicento just darting in the hill, able to pick up 2. Be interesting to see how Aqua uses that War Machine, see if he can turn one of these hills in favor of Elevate.
Well, let's take a look. Is he still got, we have what, Heat Wave? It looks like Aqua has already used it, and we didn't really see too much coming in. I mean, at the time it was going in for Optic, so it wasn't used effectively whatsoever. That gets shut down completely. You know how much time it takes to get that going. Vicento getting close to his Purifier, but he's going to get shut down. Now, the big thing, it's been kind of Scump and Crim leading the way here. We haven't seen from Crim's POV too much throughout this one. I'm going to go back to him through the respawn. Actually, let's stick with Scump for just the time being, because he's on a 3 streak right now. He's going to catch a player trying to rotate here, 2 out of middle, and he keeps challenging. Unfortunately, going to lose that gunfight.
But that's how Scump's going to play. Him and Crim are just going to try and push out these hills. Leaves Formal and Karma in some bad positions sometimes right there. Formal trying to fight for the hill. 2 players rush at him. He's able to put some shots in one. Crim finishes him off after pushing that last hard point. The guys in Elevate got to start to rotate a little bit early. I feel like they've given the last few hills early to Optic Gaming.
This is the one they've rotated too early, though, and they've really beat up Optic on this particular hard point. When you're talking about Kitchen, this has been their bread and butter thus far, as they've been set up. But that is huge. Was that Formal that just crushed Aqua? And that's a big one, because he's set up. You're L-triggered. You're waiting for that wall run player.
Win that fight, man. All of a sudden, he just got melted by Formal, and you're going to see the Purifier start to come in from him in the hard point. He's taken out from a distance by Aqua, so that's really where the Purifier isn't that good from the standpoint that you can get taken out.
Was that a flash or a Heat Wave? Because you saw that Purifier.
I think that was Karma's Heat Wave.
Yeah, the Heat Wave just disrupting everything in and around the hard point. Points coming in right now for Elevate, but there's only 24 more needed for Optic Gaming. Can Karma break in? Gets 1. Formal picks up 2. That's everybody around the hard point. They've got full control. Good opportunity here to grab these final 15 seconds.
It's tough for Elevate. They spawn so far out that they can't really challenge this, and now rotating towards the next hill. Formal in perfect position. Crim and Scump dominating this game 1 for Optic Gaming. No, Formal doing a nice job.
He was struggling early, too.
He was.
And Scump, Scump kind of crushed early, struggled over the middle, and then crushed again late, as he's 36-28, leading all Slayers in this one. But look at Karma. This is the big thing for me. He's on a 4 streak right now. He's 27-25, but look at his hill time. He has 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and we've talked at length about who's going to be that guy for Optic, who's going to be the one doing the dirty work, being the hard point. We've seen Scump do it at times. We've seen Crim do it as well. We've seen Karma doing it. That is great to see him with almost 2.5 minutes of hill time coming in for Karma.
And positive. He had some streaks earlier. When he's positive and getting that much time in the hill and